20 of the top esports professionals and content creators drop on into Teardrop Island with their two teammates to loot and shoot their way to claim some of our $600,000 prize pool. Welcome everybody to the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. My name's Dandro. I'll be one of the hosts guiding you through all day today, but hey, it's not only on the map that we got some All-Stars, we got some All-Stars here in the booth. Welcome, Enigma. How you doing today, brother?
I'm feeling great after that introduction, my friend. Our relationship is healing, let's say. But yeah, very much so looking forward to seeing what our All-Stars do indeed bring. $600,000 up for grabs. I've absolutely fallen in love with this game and can't wait to see what some of the best players in the world manage to do with all the movement tech, the weaponry, the abilities that are available here. This is going to be a blast, my friend.
Well, let's talk about some of our teams participating here today. Kick it off with none other than the king himself, Team Scump. He's joined by George Not George and Blake Sissel.
Looking at Team Huskers, for me, the favorites for this evening's competition. But add on to that, two of the best players in Off the Grid in Inhuman and Cairo.
They're not the only one. Let's talk about Lulu Lovely, okay? Bringing alongside Noko and Merc Frosty.
After that, we have got Team Keon. Or should I say Team Furia?
We got Team Mizkif, us along with Canoe and Coconut B.
My next lineup, and that's going to be Team Iceman Isaac. In Skullface, you've got one of the best solo players I think I've witnessed in all my years of gaming. Add in Aiden, a multiple BR champion.
It's going to be giving them a run for their money. It's XQC, Zoms, and Dizzy.
But an all-star list in any shooter or battle royale would be incomplete if we didn't mention Shroud.
Here, Clayster is here, hot off of a retirement from Call of Duty, but you got Proofy and Sad Boy as well.
You've got Imperial Hal. Man is known as the CEO of Professional Apex, and therefore it should be of little surprise that he's hired in two great players from the space in Rogue and Albrelele.
Well, also another multi-talented player, Landmark, Trey24K, and Vibin.
Someone who does know how to make it happen is DB3, Damon Karma Barlow.
Hey, you gotta give it to Tommy though, because he has a similar tactic as well, joining up with Knobsfoot and Fatal Wolf.
We've also got Team Breadman, and this lineup reeks of sniping prowess alongside Pyman and OP Mart.
Enoch, Zoltan, and Public Sorrow teamed up with two fantastic players here. They've been grinding. I know that they are ready to get competitive and take home some cash here today.
Holly has also brought in a duo alongside her that in Selly possesses plenty of off-the-grid experience that will come in huge today.
But we gotta get some representation in here from Simmer alongside Smitty Stone and Rengar.
Well, if third-person battle royales are your bread and butter, then Tiggleton, Shrimsy, and K-Mine should have a hell of a time this afternoon. And
the next one, which is going to be Nadia, Gigi Schmeike, and Cliff Booth.
To round out our 20 trios, Hutch, Chief, and Curtis Ryan.
Well, those are our teams. Let's talk about what we're doing here today, Enigma, because it is exciting. Okay, we have $600,000 on the line. We're gonna be playing 6 custom games, okay? $90,000 up for grab every single game. You can see the breakdown there. Winning team is gonna take home 60K, 20,000 for second, and 10,000 for third.
$60,000 has been saved for our kill incentives. If you come top out of everybody in this entire tournament this afternoon, when it comes to individual kills, you will take home $30,000. Second with 20,000, third with 10,000. Plenty of money on the line.
So not only every game is your squad going to be trying to get the win, right? You're going to be playing for positioning. You're going to be really kind of getting ahead of that zone and making sure you have that end game spots, but it's all about those eliminations as well. You know that's going to be in the back of everyone's brains when they're trying to decide, do we try and push this team or do we decide to play passive here? You're going to want those kill eliminations. Yeah, I think that's going to be really the marker. Who has been playing the game? Who's taking this serious? Who understands all of the combos between cyber limbs that you can have? How to play around some of this verticality and over the 300 plus combinations of weapons you can make between the attachments and also what's there in their backpack. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see this all go down. All right, everybody, the time you've been waiting for is here. Game number 1 of the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. We really appreciate you being here with us as we get this first lobby started, but all of our players are in. They're loading on up, ready to drop in, and I'm seeing 3 ninja skins already coming out of Shroud. This guy is locked and ready to go.
And you know he wasn't missing the opportunity to represent. Loading in here. And already eyeing up exactly where he wants to be next. It all seems to be around Stark City, Little Kyiv. Yeah, I agree with him. All the way up in Ocio, I feel like you could hit a busier drop than that. I feel like you can immediately look to loot and get in on the action. Being one of the teams here that we're expected to be very mechanically gifted at the very least. But apparently, they're heading north. They're going to Ocio, the luxurious resort of sorts, with its own tennis court. Beautiful location. Great spot for some killing, Dandro.
Yes, you can see they're going to be going up there, and on the opposite end of the map, it is Huskers. Okay, alongside Inhuman and Cairo, a team that we have been highlighting. So they're going to go ahead and pick up this early terminal contract and start looting up. One thing I want to say, we saw Shroud marking some of those bounty hunter contracts off the rip. I think that's a smart idea. It's a really easy way to get credits. You can pick that up. You either get some idea maybe where a really strong team is on the map, or maybe an early elimination. And speak about eliminations, we hop on board with the Madness, and he's already claiming first blood.
Just absolutely slapping players down there with the Vericon. He's got the Squall in hand as well. And this Squall, like one of my... Sorry, it's the Partisan. I'm thinking it's the Vericon. I'm completely lost. It's the new AR, actually. It's the Partisan. And it is gonna put out some serious rounds, some serious firepower. Assessing his loadouts there, seeing if he can call in the drop nice and early and get himself on the move. That Buzz Killer on the right arm. Little drone that will hover above you or move off to where you need it to go. And will damage on your opponents. But this Squall is something that is so useful as these guys run up towards you.
I like this. You have the shotgun in hand. You're going to make some work for it. And chat, I know you guys are fiending for the Twitch drops, okay? If you are, hit that link at the top of the chat. It's pinned there. Go ahead, link your OTG account with your Twitch account, and you have an opportunity to earn some exclusive drops here today. Some unique weapon and cosmetics for you. So make sure you're going ahead and doing that, linking up your account, watching the stream here today. We would love to be able to get you some of those. But back on into the action, flying up over the top, it's a Madness shotgun in hand, making quick work of some of these players.
And that's that movement tech we're talking about. In midair there, Madness decides to pop the jetpack in order to release it, let him pull out his weapon and aim and shoot, but just for a brief second before he hits the deck, he makes sure his player's facing upwards and just uses the jetpack for a half second. It therefore softens the blow, doesn't put you into a landing animation, doesn't give you any damage or the potential of losing your legs. And it's just moments like that that make all the difference in a gunfight, and it looks like you're not going to miss up on many more because there's a Roadrunner player trying to get away, and it's another knock for this trio.
Yeah, I mean, you try and use the Roadrunners to really get on out of dodge there, but what some people don't realize that, sure, you get the speed boost, but anybody else, including enemies into that lightning trail, also get the speed boost as well. So you think you're maybe making a quick retreat, but some smart thinking players will make sure to follow you on up. Madness is just turning left and right, trying to find some of these eliminations. We got a little bit of a replay of something Shroudy or Outy was able to do earlier, and it's him getting absolutely turned on. Not something I would have expected this early.
No, definitely not. I will say that he was doing that shoulder switch, continuously flicking between the shoulder he's aiming on over, therefore just trying to give himself a different angle to look over things, and Paralyzer, pretty much a direct impact. This is the Cyberlim that I love to use. It will shut down that opposing player, also then acts as a little homing beacon to tell you where everyone else is, lighting up the region around you. It's so effective, and you're going to see these top players run things like the Paralyze. You can also see the hook shot available here on Cairo, because he, quite frankly, Inhuman, he does disgusting work with this thing. Just zips around the map. Really aggressive after his opponents using it.
Right here on my ping.
And that was actually an elimination. They got onto Proof. So you know that Clayster was going to be around here somewhere. But I saw Nadia getting credit for the kill in the kill feed. So either they're split apart or Team Nadia is not too far away either. That's why reading your kill feed can sometimes be super, super important. So we are starting to see here down on the southern side of the map, this squad is looking to get aggro early. Only one elimination right now for those, but onto the other side of the map, look who we got. It's Rogue, Alberlele, and Imperial Howl. And they're doing what you mentioned at the top of the show here, Nim. It looks like they found some high ground and that they are looking to hold this through. Looks like some enemies are hitting zip.
Yeah, and if you just If you do get pushed in here, you can just change to that kite that he's got in his second slot. But the Proton, I told you about this thing, man. It rips armor straight off of opponents. You're good enough with it, you can knock people very quickly before they even know what's hit them. By the way, we're going to see this Furia team group back on up. Paralyzer goes out. You need the timer to count on down to paralyze if you don't get that direct impact. But you will start to get that recon go out, and it should tell you that that player that was nearby fled, left the scene, doesn't want any of the smoke, and I don't blame him.
I really like the loadout from Keon there.
There's two teams here with
having
us.
the Proton, having the kite, it gives you really a solid ability to cover most of your ranges that you need. Even in a dire situation, you can pull up that thing, try and hit a quick scope onto somebody just to get that much damage in to maybe pull out your pistol and be able to bring them on down. You can see here some of this movement tech. This is what we were talking about, right? Some of these players are going to have a much better idea of how to move around the map than others. And these road runners, you hit this nice little slide. It is insane how fast you can start moving across the map.
It's just, we touched on it at the top of the show, but it's one of the absolute beauties of this game. There are metas, there are in some ways right and wrong, but you can also do a lot of things just that suit you because you can get so creative. We're going to get a replay here of a gunfight, this Proton in action, and that's exactly what it will do. Doesn't matter if you're jetpacking away, the bullet velocity of this thing will just mean you'll get plucked out of the sky regardless.
We are going to see Cairo, Huskers, and Inhuman. Looks like they started a group back on up. They aren't too far away. You're hearing Madness give out some of those comms saying, I don't know if we need to keep pushing teams right now. Maybe you start kind of trying to put yourself in a better scenario, trying to play for some of that positioning. We can see, obviously, coming back on in, you're joined up with your teammates, and you're able to loot up this player that was down below you. And one of the things there, we saw some of purple cyber limbs, right? Well, guess what? You were wanting to opt for maybe the ones that you feel more comfortable with than necessarily the ones that were on the ground. Really just showcasing it's all about play style. Not necessarily is the higher rarity item always better.
No, 100%. Fully agree with you. Sometimes it's just purely about what suits you. We're going to get another replay. And it's one of the guys we know so much about, OP Marks. And he absolutely claps a player coming up the zip there. I'm not sure what he hits, but whatever it is, dealt out so much firepower. Was that Trip Mine maybe? Sat at the top of the section zip? If so, that is disgusting work. But you know what? It gets you a kill regardless.
I mean, no surprise to see them holding high ground with a Trip Mine, right? I feel like that is just tried and true. OP marked gameplay that we get to go ahead and see. Doesn't matter the game. We'll always find a height. We'll always have something to catch you from behind. We have some great plays being happen here all across Teardrop Island. We got 18 left here. We come on board. See only one elimination as they're trying to just hold this building out. Maybe get an idea. Where do you want to start maneuvering around the map?
Well, Enoch here, you can see he's recently used the Paralyzer as well as their recon drone. So much intel about what should be around them at the moment. And we could shift in, slide in, making sure that you don't get sniped from a rogue opponent. Well aware that there's at least two teams in the opposing building here. And again, trying to put this Proton to use. And it doesn't just hit hard, it sounds gorgeous as it absolutely slams into that building.
There's something special about how guns sound sometimes. Off the Grid does such a great job. Just like, sometimes it just feels good. You pick up a Proton because you just want to feel something, you know? Want a little bit of dopamine straight to the brain when you start firing your gun. And Proton, definitely one to make it happen. Another one, also the kite. As we come on over and we can see this player just absolutely decimating somebody with it. They're sitting on top of this high ground. It looks like maybe somebody was trying to go ahead and push them. They put them on down. They are showing up on somebody's recon drone, though, so you have to be careful. Some team nearby knows exactly your positioning. Do they go ahead and try and push on the zip? Do they try and take the stairs? Or do they try and make something else happen? That's what we're kind of looking at.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, this is indeed a Donald Trump skin fighting a Donald Trump skin. You are not mistaken. And is part of the event that's going on right now in the store, available to you if you so wish.
There's another team.
And
be careful.
The players there just trying to hold that high ground. But that's one of the things as well. More movement tech. The road runners, they'll let you out of areas if you ever get caught in trouble. Leapers also very useful. And honestly, I kind of like the idea here to not chase after that. I was a little bit worried that you get baited out by a player there, maybe get pushed up on, and this is what that player was aiming to do, bait you off the rooftop, then take it for his own. But actually, as they come back on up, it's going to turn into a 1v1 here. Could get some support if required. Karma's going to be just holding beneath.
I like that. I like the communication that's coming up between them, immediately making the call that you want to get back to Karma. Take this fight as a 2v1. You don't have to just try and go ahead and win this. It's not worth it. But back on over, a team that we hyped up at the top of the show. Curious to see how they're doing so far. We're on board with XQC. 0 eliminations to his name just yet, but playing alongside Dizzy and Zombs. I think this is one of those squads that you kind of mentioned, you know, will take a little bit to come online, but when they do, it's going to be crazy. We know the skill that Zombs and Dizzy have, and XQC is no slouch either. So once he, I think, figures out what kind of weaponry he wants to run, what kind of cyber limbs he'd like to have equipped, they could definitely start making moves on some of our top teams.
One of the things is that I think XQC, you know, nowadays he's known as one of the biggest streamers in the world, one of the biggest content creators on the planet. People sometimes forget that he was actually once an Overwatch pro. Like, this guy has plenty of mechanical skill. He's a great player and has plenty of experience in various shooter titles. So I am expecting him to do something on the map, but playing Bushwookie was probably not up there. Maybe you're looking to just hunker down and play for that top 3 placing by just being a pacifist.
Well, you don't become the top Winston in America 8 years ago, and now you're hiding in bushes trying to do your best to win part of $600,000. How time is illustrious here. But on board with the king, you got Blake and George. It actually looks like George has been taken on out. No more respawn timer, but Ghost in hand for Scump could allow them to start making a move. It looks like there is a res station not too far away. They could make their way on over, potentially get that res off. Blake's got the cash to make it happen if they need, but you got to start making some of those moves now.
You just got to be careful about where you push out from here. This circle is getting smaller and smaller. And Oscar's here. He heard the call out there. He's continuing to look for a paralyzer here. The deeper into the map you go, by the way, the better the loot that is often available to you. And the paralyzer is found. So now you're running paralyzer and the hook shot. As Husker's here alongside Cairo and Inhuman. We're expecting this team to be so damn good. And they're still alive into the late mid game here. But this is kind of how this plays out a lot of the times and off the grid. You kind of get those opening fights, then everyone slows down once the instant respawn closes, and it's just about thinning the lobby out a little bit and finding the power position.
You can see Breadman up here. Somebody's trying to come on in here with this Ripper, but they get immediately deleted. Some great work from that squad. Other side.
I'm good. I killed one.
I'm really like taking on down. And this is such an interesting part of the map to play, right? This sort of convex top here. A lot of times you can think that you have this entire roof to yourself, but it's so easy to push on up. There's a lot of space, and we see a lot of fights get broken on out here. Thankfully, there is a res down below, but the overload zone is starting to move. You got to make those reds quickly. Tommy, Fatal Wolf, and Knobsfud, they're on the outside. Looks like they're potentially about to get a full squad wipe right here. You find Shrimsy, you find K-Mine. Those are the ex-PUBG pros trying to make something happen here and off the grid. Well, guess what? Somebody else has your number. Absolutely slamming you.
Yeah, and it's Tommy, of all people, Call of Duty legend, ex-Warzone Dynasty member, part of the first ever Dynasty we had in Warzone. Has plenty of prowess through the years. Showing it there in that gunfight. But the team that I marked down as favorites for this, my prediction for map 1, they're actually marked right now. They're going to be being picked up on someone's cyber limb. Could well be a recon drone, could be... I don't think it will be the paralyzer because we couldn't see the animation coming across the floor, so potentially a recon drone up for someone nearby. And they're going to get straight into this fight, and they're going to get aggressive with it, and Huskers helps clean that up. Are there more players here? No, and if that was one player trying to push in on a 1v3, that was only going to end one way.
Well, look what Hutch has had to resort to. Both teammates eliminated. You don't have the cash to get them back on into the map. You would desperately love to find some credits, but for now, you find this little bit of a corner. You got the Terracon in hand. You got a kite in the backpack. Maybe you can make something happen. You do have Roadrunners, which will let you get into the fight a little bit more quickly. But meanwhile, back in this building, it's just Huskers, Cairo, and Inhuman. They are catching a team after team that's trying to grab this space. They say they don't need the verticality. It's all about holding this parking garage. And, well, when you have this paralyzer, it's super easy to make happen.
It is. As well, the hook shot, it's not just for swinging around like Spider-Man. You can grab opponents with it. So if anyone decides to try and dash out in front of you, you can just yeet them back in your direction. They're going nowhere. When you got a kite in hand as well, melt them up close. These three just terrorizing anyone that tries to play through this parking garage. Another one's going to try and make the move. Won't get blessed as such. And as the grid collapses... What they're guarding here as well, by the way, is actually going to be the regen area. Gorgeous stuff. That's another 2 for this team, continuing to just melt all of the opposition. Huskers has got a lot of stuff on the screen, so can't see how many teams are left. 14 still fighting over such a small landmass.
Ooh, and Iceman Isaac up top. Looks like they're in a fight. An explosion will, at the very last second, will bring them down. But thankfully, it looks like Skullface is going to be able to help clean it on up. Aiden has been eliminated. They both have the credits they need if they can manage to get to one of these respawn beacons, but you're kind of have to wait to see where does this grid pull to. And here's some fun things. If you look at the bottom of your screen, folks, you're going to start seeing the top kills that we have, and it looks like Madness might be leading the lobby.
Yeah, so just to confirm, this is for eliminated teams only. But yeah, Madness and Vaxlon currently leading the way. We'll be tallying the others up as we go, and of course, keep you guys up to date. Not just important about who gets top 3 here for our $90,000 per game, but there's $60,000 up for grabs for our top slayers. So everybody looking for every single kill they can find here. Yeah, I think the XQC might well be in those bushes.
He might be. This paralyzer would be a great way to figure that out. Playing on down here below. Somebody tried to make their way on over. Huskers with some great shots already. It's not an elimination. It's a couple of armor tags, and that's what you like to see. You can see here, safe area starting to shift. Will force a lot of players to move, but look who's on this side right now. It is this squad. They're going to be able to hopefully catch a lot of these other players who have to start to move. And up on the high ground, it's still Skullface and Iceman Isaac. They're going to be A-okay. They're going to be safe. That respawn beacon is not too far away, Enigma. Do we see a play to try and get the teammate back on in?
Well, you see that they're considering that right now. How do they split the cash? And I like the idea of not dropping it all. Just spread it out. Make sure that if you do lose your second teammate, you can then dive down yourself and pick up some kills. A couple players playing out in the overloaded zone. And Isaac's just going to dive for this. I love this. Head out into the overloaded zone. Get yourself the res and get back as long as you can pull off your timing with the window and the self-revive. Damage stats coming from the bottom of your screen. A reminder, these are just for eliminated teams so far, but Selly leading the way with nearly 11k damage, far and beyond anyone else on that list.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that really matters, though, because we have this team last remaining in the overload zone, it looks like. So we're starting to see some res start going on out. Where's this final player? Where are these final teams remaining? They're all just trying to pop these self-revives, get on up. They are here. You're starting to use these road runners. Run around. Can you find these last couple of players around?
Shot.
You got to imagine. And oh, they're second?
I mean, they're happy enough with it. Second place, first game. They will take home $20,000. But Iceman Isaac, Skullface, Aiden, they will take home $60,000. And we saw where they were sitting up. It was Skullface and Isaac holding the high ground inside the zone. They were safe enough. Isaac then plays out for that res as well. Hits the self-revive, gets himself back in. But that trio coming out on top, they will take home $60,000 for just the one map. But I gotta say, when we're talking about the kill incentives, it feels like Cairo and Human Huskers, they saw the lion's share of the action. They'll be feeling pretty good too.
And Iceman Isaac to be able to hold that high ground. But what an electric map number 1 we had here, okay? We're going to have to wait and see what we got going on. But some of the highlights from this first map of the day, we know we got some shooters in this lobby, but to see it come to fruition, that was special.
Yeah, getting to witness the way in which, I mean, getting to witness a trip mine at the top of a zip is quite brutal. But looking at how some of these players play this on out, that was the Ripper that completely, actually, that might have been a Slam Fist that was completely failed there. But this was the thing that was important. Watching how kites were so impactful up close with so many of these players. You got to think Inhuman and Cairo, again, utilizing them in the bottom of that garage. Tommy there in that fight that we just got to watch. So many different weapons are available to our trios. There is a lot of great meta weapons, but it seems that Proton and Kite is indeed the way, the meta that is going to lead the way so far through map 1.
Now all right, everybody, let's take a look how we're looking after map number 1. Iceman Isaac in a classic BRN game, able to clutch up map number 1, taking home just a casual $60,000. Wasn't the only one though. You had Huskers and Lulu taking home 20k and 10k each.
And then Lulu Lovely coming in third alongside Frost and Noko. And then the leaderboard here to find out exactly where everyone lies in terms of the individual kills, because we still have $60,000 to be shared out between the top 3
in the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. So we'd love to see them usurp the throne from Cairo, be top of the board. But map number 2 ready to start here, everybody. Let's get some hype rolling in the chat as we get ready to give away another $90,000. Every single map counts, and that's what I love about this format. It's an opportunity for, no matter how you're doing in all the other maps, you can win some cash, walk away, your pockets feeling a little heavier. XQC wants to be one of those people. You see him kind of hyping up his boys, Zoms and Dizzy. Where do they want to go?
You could drop right now and just go like here.
You could drop right now, apparently. I mean, they were in Marshlands last time. It is a quieter drop, so that might suit them a little bit. Over towards Salty then. So this is a call. This is like an old industrial vibe. It's kind of like almost like a power planty feel to it, but it can very quickly become chaos over there. It's very open. You've got a lot of crossings. You will be spotted by your opponents, and that means you got to be comfortable taking gunfights. And I don't know after map 1 if this team particularly were. So different landing. That's that animation, by the way. So if you're playing this game, you're curious about how to avoid that animation getting into fights, angle your character to basically stand up and release the jetpack just before you land. It will mean that you don't have to roll. You'll pull your weapon out instantly, save yourself precious seconds going into a fight.
Wow. Tips with Enigma on how to be better at Off the Grid. Would have thought I never saw it.
I gotta be honest.
Wait, oh my god, that was almost really bad. I thought we were about to see him break his legs. Thankfully, somehow able to bring it back on through. So XQC off rip here. It looks like a pretty low impact area for them. No fights immediately, but I'm looking at that kill feed top right underneath the map, and whoo, okay. Lobby looks like it's getting hot. We're starting to see some people already claim some early eliminations and are looking to make some waves.
Team on the right as well.
This is going to be your team, buddy. Team Tommy. They've decided to play on the opposite side of the map. This is going to be Ocio. We spoke about it last time. They looked pretty solid when we got to tune in with them. We get to look at exactly how they were playing, and, well, it'd be interesting to see if they can build on that here in map 2. We're expecting so many of these different teams to do this. They're coming in from various titles, so you are looking at some of these squads and thinking, okay, well, you know, you've got a Fatal Wolf who plays a lot of off the grid anyway. Nobs plays a lot of off the grid too. But Tommy, you know, he's coming in as a XCWLCDL pro. Karma Squad looks like they're going through it, but you will get that respawn coming in as that instant respawn timer continues to be alive for now.
Yeah, you can see they have that bounty hunter contract as well, and it looks like they're in a fight against that squad. On board with a team we saw do some things in that game number 1. It's Bread, Pieman, and OP Mark. Bread was getting a little bit quick with it on that movement, but looks like a team inside is definitely going to be able to have their number. Everybody straight off the rip are just getting into fights. We see Karma get into a fight there and just doesn't hit the shots, which is surprising for us to say about Mr. Damon Barlow. But either way, we're seeing some fantastic moves already put on this early on.
I tell you what, I don't know about you, buddy, but childhood dream being fulfilled, getting to cast over Barlow, over Karma, Mr. Three Rings, the guy that has won multiple championships across so many titles. Godly player. However, I want to see him do better than what happened in that engagement. We change on over. We go back to Karma, and oh no! Why did I talk about him at all? Wow! Okay, I am so sorry, Damon. If you watch this back later, I just cursed you. I really, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut next time you're on screen.
Oh, and look who's not too far away from them. It's the CEO and some of the Apex boys. It's not a good day for being a pro in another esport, I'll tell you what. Well, dude, these three, though, they are continuing to fly around. We see Inhuman find elimination on Knut, and they're trying to maybe find a Mizkif. I see Coconut B going down as well. You'd love to be able to get that elimination. As you can see that, oh my gosh, that's some insane movement from Inhuman on top of you.
I absolutely love the replay coming on through there so quickly as well. Shout out production. just giving us all the viewpoints. And honestly, Canute there, we got to see eyes wide open, and I'm not surprised. Probably baffled by the kind of movement that's unfolding in front of him. And I'm not going to lie, from this point, you definitely turn around to each other and go, we're not landing there again. We're staying as far away from that team as we possibly can. On board, Aiden, Skullface, Isaac, they won map 1. Aiden's trying to figure out how to mantle this wall here, but it has the paralyzer active, so you're able to track this player. They're going to try and use the jetpack to get away, but surely plucked on out the sky, they will be. That's a kill on the board. That's just going to be Trey, who's found a player that we haven't seen too much of yet. And in the kill feed as well, George picking up one. So kills back and forth all over the place here on Teardrop Island.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of people realize with this early respawn timer, you can kind of farm teams, really kind of get those eliminations up and start, finding a lot of these kills going your way. You want to be able to do that to be one of our top teams on the elimination leaderboard. But once that respawn timer does go away, you got to focus on playing positioning, putting yourself in an opportunity to find some more of those. And that's exactly what Scump is trying to do. They've been able to find somebody on the outside. You got an Osprey in hand, a quick little snipe. You'll be able to get the hit there. You go around the side with the flenser. It is shoddy snipers time, baby. As Scump, he's able to find one, but the action isn't over just yet. He's getting shot from the side. You got to try and make your way on out of here. And well, look whose team it is. It is Team Tommy making their way in to clean up Team Scump.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Scump ends up getting cleaned up in the end. He does indeed. What I will say, Scump did pretty well there. The Osprey and the Flenser, they are what I would consider the second tier. They're not the best weapons in those classes. So, you know, he still manages to get that knock. Unfortunately, you're basically trapped between a rock and a hard place. You step out and find a squad on the opposite side. I'm going to get a replay here of Tommy spinning, spotting, and beaming Sethy Seth in the back here as he tries to get away. Beautiful work. Showing that mechanical skill that he has given to the competitive gaming scene for so many years. Move on over to a team that we've spoken a fair bit about this afternoon, but haven't seen too much on our screen. It's going to be Public Sorrow, Enoch, Zoltan. And Zoltan's a guy who's put out so much damage so far, but not had that many kills.
I don't know if it really matters, though, because we can see, look at this. Just some great teamwork. Just the team shots. Playing on top of each other. Finding some of those players. Already 3 eliminations for Public Sorrow. So you're pretty close to almost tying the elimination leader into the lobby so far. Other side of the map, though, here on the roof. OP marked. Looks like you have 2 teammates. Maybe got a little bit overzealous. They have both been knocked. You have a respawn beacon not too far away. You got to be careful, though. You're going to call in this loadout. Will you have enough credits to get back your teammates? And actually, with that, you go just under the 5K mark. You only have enough to get one of them back.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a misplay there from OP Marked.
Maybe he's hoping he can get bread in, then share the money, and then they use that for Pieman. I don't know, but I'm with you. This is relatively risky because, as well, when these loadout drones come in, a lot of people is going to see that float on in. We're going to get a replay of this Furious squad that seems to be causing so much damage out on the map. We spoke earlier about the kind of firepower Vaxlon was putting out, and you can see there they were just beating down an opposing player. They're trying to use the Roadrunners to be anywhere but there, but not a chance in hell.
Take the height, take the height. I'm gonna you have UAV or anything? Anyone have anything?
No. There's a whole team on me right now.
You can hear some of the comms coming on through there. Desperately seeking any of these recon drone, even just having some thumpers, right, to be able to pull out that PDA and get that quick little ping, get any amount of information you need to take that fight. Looks like they did not have it there. So I love that we're hearing some of those comms come on through from some of our top teams, that they're really relying on some of these things to have some communication to come out on top and feel confident taking some of those fights. As we kind of make our way around here, we can see some feels like this is the map of sniping. I feel like every team we've come on over to, somebody has an Osprey in hand, and they're trying to land a headshot to bring down somebody. That player with the Roadrunners, though, will be pretty tough to get away there.
Another one.
And as I say that, you got a Kestrel in hand, hitting some shots. It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, anyone who loves to snipe in this game, and I'm looking at you, buddy. You know what? I'm not going to fill your ego too much, but you are a fantastic sniper out there. Honestly,
thank you.
The Kestrel in a hand like yours, that thing is disgustingly good. So if anyone out here today trying the Osprey and is thinking, you know what, that felt kind of nice, I beg you, put on a Kestrel. That thing hits like a truck. The fire rate's low, but if you land your shots, you're putting out some serious damage, and it feels beautiful here on Teardrop Island. And well, Tommy Squad, along with Fatal Wolf and Nobsfoot, are trying to just figure a route through. We're going to get on board with Cairo, taking quite a bit of damage. How's the gunfight go? You actually lose it. Falls to Zoltan.
Okay, we're starting to see that squad start getting aggressive. They're finding those eliminations and finding the eliminations onto the current kill leader. That is definitely a great way to start your map. But just look at some of the movement around the map right now. Just flying on through. Cairo hits the respawn beacon. You want to get Huskers back on into it. And just like that, you're back up as a team of 3. But look at this. Speaking of shots.
God.
Okay. Shroudy Rowdy, the human aim turret out of the sky, comes on in here and says, yeah, I'll play for a couple bands today and put on a show.
Yeah, so what I was telling you guys, that sniping is good in this game. Shroud executing right there with the Ninja Kestrel, rocking the skin of his blue-haired pal, and lands a beauty onto Noxwood. Just absolutely removes him from the board. And to put a little bit of style on it too, hits the mid-air shot to finish him off. Oh my god, this guy is a mechanical genius.
I don't know how anybody but Shroud can walk into a game and just immediately hit clips. He's obviously played a fair amount of off the grid so far, but he is just the quintessential, yeah, I'll go for it type player. And we're seeing there a beautiful shot from him. Absolutely insane. Now, when it comes to the actual competitiveness, though, they got a great spot here on the map. They find that elimination. Shroud's up to 5. Looking good. You're playing on this outside of the map, and I love this type of play here in Newman because by playing on this outer edge, right, you eliminate all of this space that you have to try and watch.
Yeah.
You can see they want to surge on forward and maybe find themselves in one of these buildings to feel a little bit more confident about playing this endgame.
And the one problem was, as they pushed forward there, they came up on someone's recon. Could have been a recon drone, potentially. Saw that it was a team of 3, decided to back off from it. And I don't blame them. The opposing team had the high ground, leaves you very vulnerable and exposed. And you don't have to give it up this early. Still 15 teams left in this. That side of the circle will likely be squeezed in. We're going to get a replay here, and this is going to be a ripper coming on through, and that's why that thing is so damn good right now. It's used a lot by a lot of top players. It's because you just slice and dice your way straight through opponents. I was speaking about this earlier. You're not only ripping plates off, but you're likely taking off an opponent's limb as well. So if they somehow survive, they are mortally wounded in a lot of dire straits, and usually just an easy mop-up kill for you.
No, that's the thing a lot of people overlook with the Ripper, right? Yes, it's huge damage. Yes, it's a gap close, a little bit of movement tech for you. But it's that last little thing you said, the ability to rip an opponent's limb from them, right? They could be relying on that paralyzer. They could be relying on a hook shot to get on out of there. You cut that right off their arm. They're not going to be able to use it. Some great things to be able to have with that Ripper. You can see Proton in hand with our squad right now. They're firing shots on this team that's onto this zip. Trying to be able to bring them down. I saw an armor crack come on through, but no knocks just yet. This player's going to surge on forward, though, and start to bring them on out. You activate the paralyzer. Can you be able to push the tempo? And I believe it might be on this squad right here. Iceman, Isaac, Skullface, and Aiden, our winners of game number 1.
That could well be. You're right on the edge of the zone here, which means you've got to deal with this fight and start to press on in. We are going to get a zone between Salty and the Marshlands. We move back on over. Cairo and Co have found more prey to hunt. They'll find one, but Huskers and Inhuman fall here. So Cairo's got a lot of work to do, and honestly, I agree with this decision. You're weak, you have very little in the way of health, and you're also running out of plates quickly, and you actually found Inhuman has managed to get back in, but Huskers and Cairo are going to be watching off the sidelines for now. And with the respawn timer disabled, you gotta find yourselves one of the respawn beacons.
And still alive. We saw Team Tommy push the tempo on them, but they are alive. And oh my gosh, look at this. We're not even over here. Shroud's still hitting shots like that. That type of play is still beautiful, even though he doesn't get the immediate sort of knock. Just to break the armor, swap to the backup weapon, and get the finish is a beautiful play. It's simple. It's clean. It's the exact type of fight you want to be taking.
Someone said it in Twitch chat a minute ago. Mechanics are mechanics, and this guy just has them down to a ridiculous tier. Truly otherworldly in the way he plays every single shooter. We're going to get another replay here. We move on over, and we see a team fall early. It's going to be Tommy and Co. Unfortunately, buddy, your prediction, I believe, out there in 14th. That's tough.
Listen, they'll come back. They'll be good, okay? This squad, though, after a lackluster game number, they've definitely been feeling it here more in game number 2. 6 eliminations on Shroud alone. feeling very, very solid about that one. Madness alongside Vaxlon and Keon. Only one elimination to his name, but definitely a lot of opportunity here in this final zone to potentially be able to find some more. And yeah, some great shots onto this player. Can you bring them on out? There's one, there's two. So much in the open right now. He can't decide where he wants to aim. You got the Proton in hand. You need to start hitting some shots here, Madness. Get on that elimination leaderboard because we got cash for you.
The thing is, there's so many players beneath you that your eyes are just lighting up like dollar signs. Every single one of these kills could lift you closer and closer to thousands of dollars. You kid in a candy shop situation, almost too much going on. Finds one of them, cracks a second, but unfortunately bullied back in. You make so much noise eventually. You kick a hornet's nest. It will eventually come back to sting you. And just lives for a moment. We're going to get a replay here. This is going to be Trey, I believe. And unfortunately gets overrun. His team in dire straits there.
Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Trey still alive somehow in the middle of all of these players trying to stay alive. Will go down in 11th, and off of the high ground, Madness has made their way to the bottom. You find one. You're continuing to just get knock after knock here. Paralyzer is coming in clutch. Lets you know exactly where some of these players are as you move on over.
Oh my God.
I think there's 3 different squads right in front of him, and Madness makes the smart choice here. Play ahead of them. He could have just gone and pushed in on any of those, but no. Be a nuisance on the ground. Draw the attention. Let your teammate that's up top be able to get all the damage, bring them on down.
But it's pretty funny to watch Madness sprint forward there, and then his eyes wide open on the webcam. Boys, get out of there. There's a whole team right on top of you. About 3 of them, too. Paralyzer going in huge for Shroud as well, as he uses the Vulture to find more targets. Will rip a lot of plates off, and the plates will bleed through quickly as well. Starting to bleed down on the utility. We're going to get some kill stats coming up at the bottom here. Cairo still leading. Huskers on 7, just in behind him. Public Sorrow on 6 there in 3rd. And I believe that's very similar to how we were looking at the start of map 1. Obviously, we've still got to update a lot of these teams because there's 10 still remaining. And it's only once they're fully eliminated that we'll add them onto the board. So still plenty that could change here, buddy.
Overload zone. Moving on in.
Purple kite.
Shroud and them will do a great job. Just kind of holding space. They realize they want to take a moment to breeze here. You're on the slow side of zone.
Just give me a second.
Go ahead.
I like that call.
Yeah. Very well aware of how long until this zone starts moving. A long cooldown on this Paralyzer for Shroud, though. So you already used it to kind of gain this space. Oh, wait, Shroud, you're cut away from 2 of your teammates. They immediately both get dropped. They're going to try and pop those self-revives, but a great positioning immediately turns into a lackluster situation for Shroud. Going to try and do his best to get in some of those shots. They're being able to get there, but the 2 teammates are able to come back on up. Shroud stands his ground. Will find Madness.
The Vulture here going to town. Yeah, I love the call out there. Play your life. Just try and stay up for a moment. Uses the Ripper to come back on, and movement 10 coming in huge. Oh, Shroud nearly does it to him. Unfortunately falls, but put in mad work there to try and stay alive. Almost completely shredded several of those Furia players. He does find Madness in the end, but nearly a second as well. And we've seen what the Furia players have been doing to the rest of the lobby, so taking on top-tier opposition. We move on over. Aiden, Skullface, Isaac, winners of map 1. They're still alive here with just 5 teams remaining. Aiden doing considerably better this time. 2 kills on the board already. They're going to get aggressive here on the rooftops.
Let's see, can they be able to bring them on through here? And Skullface gives some of those comms. Iceman Isaac staying here up top. Aiden trying to be able to maybe get aggressive, but for right now, they have this rooftop. It is all theirs. You have 4 other squads that are below you as the zone is going to start shrinking. This is giving me a little bit of flashbacks of map number 1 here, Enigma, as they are looking just to kind of shoot down in below. I'd love to see them hold some of this space, make sure nobody else can come on up here, and that's exactly what Iceman Isaac is doing. He's made his way on over, see if he can get an idea of anybody down below, and you're throwing down those trip mines. That's a good play from these boys.
I don't mind it. It also cracks someone. And he's going to continue to look for somewhere else to approach this fight from. Skullface, though, is going to fall. He does manage to get a kill onto 1. Aiden's in trouble. Iceman Isaac Potentially the last player alive. Can you self? Yes, you do. Woo! There are 2 other teams remaining somewhere. You have 3 kills. At least someone pushes you. Can you land the shots with the kite? He gets the crack. What? Your team come out on top. Iceman Isaac does enough. It's enough damage that the overloaded zone eventually sees off your opponent. 2 wins in a row for Isaac, Skullface, and Aiden. I mean, I wasn't sure if they were going to win a single map this afternoon. They've taken the first 2, Dandro.
Iceman Isaac is able to come online with Aiden and Skullface and secure it. Oh my lord. What a map number 2 that we have here. We thought the pace might slow down a little bit, but it was pure action from start to finish.
Oh, it was absolute chaos. I felt like we go back here. This feels like an age ago. We've had so much action since then. Seth getting that kill at the start. Tommy then follows up with a cleanup. This was gorgeous in midair, by the way, using the flenser, and then absolutely snaps with the sniper after that. But yeah, we had so much going on here. But this circle, as it pulled everyone over towards the salty region, so many teams trying to cross. If you landed OCO, you're trying to get across places like Little Kiev, like Stork, and you just end up trapped between so many players. They're just getting melted. And this from Shroud. Oh god, Dan, I could watch that all day.
Yeah, we could just skip the rest of the highlights. Just show that like 15 times again, over and over again, and I would love it. But I love that you bring that up, that point. It just felt like everybody having to move from that northern side down to below. It's just so many people got caught kind of in transition there as that zone moved. And then when we got to this, where it's just so wide open, you have someone like Madness who's just trying to do whatever they can to find all these eliminations. It was really, really tough to try and stay alive, right? You think you have an area that you're able to hold on down, that nobody is going to find you. And the next thing you know, there's about 3 other teams on the top of you. But ultimately, it's that high ground positioning from Iceman, Isaac, Skullface, and Aiden that leads them to the win. I like that they were just a little bit patient and were laying in wait to take home game number 2.
This fight here, by the way, just kind of sums up the beauty of off-the-grid fights. Like, you know, we saw the mechanical skill that Shroud brought earlier with...
All right, everybody, here we are. Map number 2 results. It's Team Iceman Isaac taking home... I can't believe I'm saying this. Another $60,000 after winning map number 1. Absolute insanity. But we got some newcomers here on our podium. In second was Team Holly with Selly and Bugsy. And in team third, it's Team Breadman with OP Marked and Co.
Curious about where that leaves him on the leaderboard.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But let's take a look at our kill leaderboard here. And a reminder, folks, this is pretty important. But after this map number 2, look who's been able to take down the Titans. It's Zoltan and his teammate Public Sorrow. And then Selly also joining up there, 12, 11, and 10. In the thick of it, they were right on top of each other when it came to that end game. And who was on high ground? Who was trying to play for positioning? It was this squad. It seems like that seems to be the secret to their success.
Well, I've said it. Chat have voiced their opinion as well. So we're going to load in with Iceman Isaac and his team that have won the first 2 maps, already earning $120,000 in the All-Stars Invitational. The thing is as well, they win that final fight by just a bullet, but even if you hadn't, it would have been 20k in the back pocket regardless.
All right, we have
curious about
only 1 net runner.
Oh, they're going for those netrunner contracts nice and early, potentially.
Might be near people. No, it's good. No, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, keep going. Stay. Wait, are you saying...
I mean, I understand the netrunner play. It's very easy early cash. Very easy contract. They'll put plenty of change in your pockets, let you get those loadouts together or stack up in other ways as you wish. So I understand the play style. I see exactly what they're trying to do here.
Oh, wait, we have one here. That's the one you're talking about.
Yes,
I was looking at
Yeah, I like hearing some of the comms here. Obviously, whatever they've been planning to do, the early game is really letting them be able to get to the end game, right? I feel like some people are just kind of looking at contracts and maybe just depending on what they want to do. It seems like they have a very solid idea of what they would like to do in sort of some of these situations. Interesting thing there for Iceman Isaac to making some settings changes as you're loading on in. The bold strategy caught, and we'll see how it works out for them. But gate number 3 ready to drop on in. And chat seems to think, like you said, Iceman Isaac, Skullface, and Aiden going 3 for 3. It would be absolutely electric. I'd love to see it, but I'd love to see somebody else come out on top, man. We got a lot of cash to give around to some of our players. A lot of money to be earned.
Oh, and they immediately land on someone. The Type 227 hits beautifully. Ruins Tommy's early game. So you got to wonder where the teammates are as well. You then find a whole bunch of utility along with the Slam Fist. Not necessarily one of the strongest, but in these early engagements, when people are rocking pretty much starter arms, it can be still very, very useful. Finds an Osprey, Trip Mine arm. He's just going to pass on over it right now and immediately go for the loadout.
I love that. It drops in the loadout. I could be mistaken. I feel like I only saw a kite in that loadout. So kind of goes back to what I was saying at the top of the show. Sometimes you can have those early, you know, kind of loadouts that you want to have just so when you get some credits in hand, you say, give me a gun I feel confident with, and we can start maneuvering around the map. It looks like that's what Iceman Isaac was trying to do there. So hot off the rip, we are able to get some action at Tommy going down at the hands of Iceman Isaac and Skullface. Little Warzone on Warzone action here in the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. This is the type of early aggression we love to see.
We do indeed. We get on over to Breadman, who's calling in his Lodi as well. You said it a moment ago. They came third last time out. Improved between maps 1 and 2. We move on over. Shroud, he's in big trouble. Trying to use the Slugger to just stick that doorway and ensure that his teammate, his opposing number, can't chase after him. Another example of the creativity you can have in this game. If you have a Phosphor Fury as well, you can light that stuff on fire, and it will just turn that entire canvas into a pit of hell for whoever gets caught in that web. The Slugger does enough to keep him alive. Gonna look for the high ground, rejoin his teammates, try and assess the situation.
We want to fucking kill this guy.
I'm at 4,300.
Ooh, looking to get a little aggro here. You hear Shroud saying, I'd like to be able to bring them on down. But chat, if you've been enjoying what we got here in Off the Grid All-Stars, hey, why don't you go play yourself? I'd love to see some clips on the timeline from some of you, our viewers. Go download now on Epic, Xbox, and PlayStation. Join the fight, be able to earn some crazy items. And if you're here, we got those drops going on, so make sure your stuff's connected. You can earn some items. So when you go download the game, you can be looking fresh, just like a lot of our players here today. But enough of that. Shroud is flying through the air, kind of levitating a little bit. You got a flencer in hand. Can you hit some of these shots? Teammate will come on in. He'll get knocked on out, but thankfully the trades are there. That was actually Schmikey bringing down Shroud, but thankfully teammate flies on in, helps clean it on up. It's looking good.
Right there, by the way, the difference between the Flenser and the Squall. The Squall, you just hold down the trigger and it will just let loose. Flenser, you got to time and pace those shots, and well, especially if you have a low rarity item without the attachments on it, it's just not fantastic. But Shroud saved by his teammate, so all's well that ends well. Breadman gonna head back up on this rooftop that I feel like we've seen these three on quite a few times. There's a player, however, waiting, lurking. Breadman's gonna dip on out. You have the Ghost available to you and the Trip Mine, so Ghost play might let you up if you can find a different angle, but you got to figure this out between them on how to push that squad off the top.
Up top here, Proton in hand. Trying to land some of these shots. You'd love to see it. But for right now, nothing too crazy. You're kind of just securing it on down. And doesn't look like anything super crazy for moving right now. You do need to find some more of those shots for your Proton, though. This is kind of the problem with taking some of those, you know, just kind of pot shots at players as they kind of fly on by. You do it enough, next thing you know, you actually get into a real fight, and you're like, wait, I don't have the ammo I need to try and be able to bring down some of these players, right? So thankfully, we'll be able to rotate out. You find 14 more bullets. You got a kite in the back pocket. Definitely feeling good about this setup. But will you fly on down and maybe bring it to the squad below you? You do have a Ripper on that left cyber limb. Could definitely get aggressive and cause some chaos.
Could indeed. Recon as well there in case you start to lose track of all the opponents squirming beneath you. Cairo on our screen was our kill leader through map 1, however fell down the leaderboard after map 2, so looking to punch his ticket back up into the prize money. Right now he and his squad are just hanging out, trying to complete this net runner real quick. Again, gets you quite a lot of cash nice and early, can be useful for loadout situations or whether or not you need money later on for revives. And he's gonna find what he needs here. Ducks on down, and we'll sort the terminal. We move on over.
I hit that guy once.
Zoltan, Public Sorrow, Brother Enoch. These guys have been frying through this. Two of our players that are leading the way in Sorrow and Zoltan for kills.
They're running away from us.
Alright, got you.
Oh, okay. Here's some of the comms there. Let's take a look at an elimination that Cairo was able to try and get earlier. It looks like it was actually Smitty Stone. Answers on the back. Maybe a little bit too aggressive from Cairo in that opportune moment. So we'll get taken on down, and we can see them needing that respawn. You got 20 seconds left, though, on the timer. So teammates, you don't got to spend the credits just yet. Inhuman has them, but you can go ahead. Just wait on in. You got 10 seconds. Fly back on in. Hopefully find some loot, reset, and start maneuvering around the map. You only have a little bit of time left, though, for this respawn timer to start moving around. So the teammates try to get into zone, get into a solid spot. But on the other side of the map, it's a team I was hoping could make something happen. They came in third in map number 2. Looks like it was just OP marked left alive on that squad. They definitely need a fat regain.
Yeah, big trouble there. Getting caught out in the open on the bridge. This is one of the things about the way this game can play sometimes. If a team just rushes up on you and you're caught out, it's so punishing in those moments. You just don't have a chance, really, to react. We see Breadman there. Not able to put the distance between the fight that he would typically like. Looking at Shroud. Looking at Tim and Justin here. Just trying to keep this rooftop on lock. And they're getting pushed. They're getting pushed up on. These teams are getting aggressive. You're going to try and get some coverage here with the Casper. Honestly, difficult weapon to use at close range considering it's burst fire. Takes a lot of damage en route. I don't know if you intended to clip that there, and unfortunately it'll be his undoing. Clipping that lamppost just meant that you couldn't get away quick enough. Shroud will dip on out and try and just stay alive, get his teammates back into the fight.
That was Brother Enoch, Public Sorrow.
Oh no.
And Zoltan brings them on down, and you're seeing the shots come in from behind. Shroud taking so much damage. You have the armor plates. If you can somehow manage to get on out of here and be able to play it on up, you might buy yourself some time, but I don't know if you have that. You can see people are flying on in. The sharks are in and out of the sky. Shroud gets taken on down. 3 eliminations for the teammate, but it's Brother Enoch, Public Sorrow, and Zoltan. They find the 2. They push on forward. They do not give Shroud the opportunity to get the teammates back on in.
Yet another wonderful example of how this game can play out as we get to watch XQC get tucked by Zoltan. But Shroud there using the balloons to get away completely fine. What Brother Enoch can do is shoot out his jetpack, which means that he just plummets towards the ground and his grave beneath them. Inhuman here, pushing up, finds Nadia. Inhuman Huskers Cairo. This is the team that a lot of people, myself included, have talked up as being the squad we're expecting to do so much here. They did finish second in map 1, spent a little bit too long in the overloaded zone. However, it was a bit of an earlier exit than expected in map 2. So looking to live up to the reputation that we've kind of laid ahead of them here and be involved in the later stages of map 3.
Definitely think that they can slow their game down a little bit and be one of these squads that's at the end game every single time. It feels like they're really focusing too much on those eliminations to try and be able to get onto that kill elimination leaderboard. But look at that. Just surging on forward. Oh, God. We'll have to wait and see what that comes out on forward at the end of the map. But dear Lord. This is just some of the fights that we go to in a replay are just so brutal. It's like I was saying earlier, it's just you can sometimes just run literally straight at somebody and you just hit your shots and you melt them like they're butter.
I think sometimes people kind of underestimate using the third-person camera mechanics. Keep your character model as hidden as you can and just use the pivot of the camera to kind of pick up intel. If you're playing this like you would maybe rotating on a Warzone or an Apex, something like that, and you're just, barreling through areas, you're going to be picked up on people lurking in the shadows who are just basically using those camera peeks and not exposing themselves. You run past them, they've got 3 kites in hand, it's just going to turn into a bloodbath, and Zom's there. Eliminated. And that Zoltan team, by the way, looking better every single map.
Well, and with Shroud eliminated, we do have a poll going on in the Twitch chat asking, does this mean Justin loves lamp? We'll get some updates on that one later once the poll goes ahead and ends.
Under in the pipe.
Other side though, it's this squad. They're looking to keep on moving. Look at the highlights that you are getting here. You're surging on forward. You find one, you bring them on through. A wild fight happening, and this was actually Fatal Wolf with that Kestrel in hand, hitting some headshots, looking beautiful. Some great stuff.
Next QC getting picked off from a distance. Tough times. Well, picked up here on utility, but also your own recon drone. Look at that minimap. Look at how many things that is picking up beneath you. It's lighting up like a Christmas tree. That recon going nuts, but you're not the only team getting intel. You're also going to be marked up somewhere else. So can you find teams that are perhaps lacking on the intel? And the Kestrel shot misses by millimeters. Squad beneath you. Do you push them?
It looks like they are getting a little aggressive here. Trying to maybe throw a shoulder. You do have a Ripper on that right cyber limb. If somebody gets a little aggressive here, you can definitely make them pay for it. But it seems like a little bit of a standoff right now between these two. They know you're above them.
Oh, he's almost stuck you. Yeah.
Looking for, but some great damage. Will be able to come on through. Yeah, the Phosphor almost just deals some insane stuff. Oh, look who it is! Iceman Isaac, Aiden Skullface. This could be a huge fight.
Don't want two snipers out right now.
I love the comm. Doesn't want two snipers. Oh my god, production, I love you. We get a shot of both teams here squaring off on the stairwell and just trying to bait each other out. What I will say, that Phosphor Fury missed by millimeters. You direct hit with one of those, you get a kill. That's how that works. Also, your teammate, the opponent that you stick then basically turns into a firebomb, and the two opposing players that are still alive have to basically flee. You have no other choice.
Only grid. Grid himself.
All grid? Okay.
I have a grid. I have a cyber.
Alright, so we're either going to call out zip, low, or high.
Okay. Isaac's so locked in.
He is I mean, I would too, brother. You're about to have back to back to back, have 60K earned on everybody on your team. Yeah. This is a big moment for this squad, and I love the comms that he has coming on in there, letting the team know exactly these are only the areas we need to go ahead and watch on out. And you can see here, he is just kind of just throwing a shoulder, making sure that nobody is being able to push on down. They're showing up on somebody else's recon drone, but as the zone will go ahead and pull, they'll be on the far side. They don't have to move at all right now. And I'm just waiting for this fight between Team Tommy and Team Iceman Isaac to fully break on out. Now, the thing I do like that Team Tommy is doing, they are keeping their eyes to the sky and really trying to make sure they have a good idea of where the rest of this lobby is playing.
Wolf, by the way, was using that third camera mechanic that I was talking about. He's basically hunkered on the other side of the wall and just using the camera to peek on out. And that's exactly what is being done there by Landmark, using the Ghost to do the exact same thing. Can see an opponent below him who's trying to land a couple of Kestrel shots. So far, though, not hitting. I think you're atop the building that we just saw Isaac and Co in. Teammate gets knocked elsewhere. Landmark here on over the top. Gets the crack. Can you clean it up? No, is the answer. You got to be careful here as well. Your two teammates are out. What you desperately need to do here is find a kill. And pray that you get enough money in. We change on over. Comma falls. Teammate still up, but only the one. And getting pushed up on by two other players. Can you get out? Doesn't look good for you as the skunk paw goes off.
Ooh, Landmark up top, though, not able to clutch it on up, and it actually does look like maybe this fight is breaking on out. Back on over with Iceman Isaac. They're here. There's still 12 teams into this lobby. Okay? That's what you have to try and realize here, folks. And look across the way. Iceman Isaac, he gets a good spot in. You got the Phosphor Fury going out at distant. Maybe you can catch some damage on in here, but it's so many people below. He's just hitting the shots with the Proton over and over again. And even if you don't get a knock here, Enigma, you're just being so oppressive to the rest of the lobby.
Well, part of the thing is, right, that we're just playing for placement. I mean, yes, you can get the kill incentives, but in the individual maps, these two, you know, the first two maps have been won by this team because they're just playing for placement. They're not getting involved in the wrong fights, and they're just whittling down the rest of the lobby, and it's stuff like that that can really cause havoc for someone else out there and mean that you have one more team eliminated off the board. It's not your problem at all. That Phosphor Fury I thought for sure was going to stick. That might be Fatal Wolf. This might still be Team Tommy just waiting in this corridor.
Okay.
Put a paralyzer on the bottom zip. There's a guy outer.
calm, coming in between the teammates, doing a great job, letting them all know where they are, where do they need to look, where do you need to hold this. And I like that they're keeping an eye on this zip. This could absolutely be a full team just surging on top of you if you're not careful. Iceman Isaac, he's going to use this opportunity, go up a little bit. As Tommy is here as well, playing slightly above them. And look who's still here in this game number 3, Enigma. It's Scump. Blake and George are eliminated. But if they can somehow maybe find a respawn beacon nearby, does have the credits to get both teammates back on in. So it's not over yet. Off the high ground, though. Tommy, Fatal Wolf, they're going to start making their move, and it's Iceman Isaac on the outside. They're up here on this billboard. They might be able to try and win this here.
All right. I have a self, though, Isaac. I wanted to give it to you, brother.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm
I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you.
Well, you find out that actually you were hoping to pass self-raises around. It won't be much for Isaac, unfortunately. Self's coming in. They've stayed alive for so long in this. Isaac will now use the redeploy in the overloaded zone to bring Aiden back on in. Give them just a moment. Let everyone else start to square off. Finds another self on the deck somehow.
Goes down. They're the top 2. They've secured at least another one. Can they stay alive? Iceman Isaac is still here. Can he stay alive long enough, Enigma? He's looking for another self-revive. Anything that you can. No, it's second. But guess what? That's still another $20,000 for this team.
I thought my prediction had come in clutch. It doesn't. It's actually going to be Holly, Bugsby, and Selly coming out on top. They came second last time out. Win it this time, so they've taken home $80,000 in the last 2 maps as well.
Map number 3, really showcasing that I think we are turning up the heat.
I mean, just moments like this, using that jetpack to get the height and then come back down on your opponent. And just watching the way that the Proton goes to work there. So many of these players figuring out exactly what the meta is. The aggression with the Roadrunners, using that movement tech to really turn the screw on your opponent. Just witnessing the kind of things these top players are figuring out. Oh my god, the Kestrel work there coming on through. Honestly, Dandro, we've spoken so much about the various weaponry available, the attachments, the abilities.
Whew, we are halfway through, friends, but we got to talk about that map number 3 before we move on. Team Holly, after coming in second and securing $20,000 in map number 2, well, they answer on back. $60K for map number 3, $80K earned on the day. Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, we will take a quick look here and see that Selly picks up 5 kills to add to the Reign of Terror that's already been going on through this tournament. Bugsy will also pick up 1, and then Holly, unfortunately, wasn't too involved, but she won't care a bit because she will be walking away with her squad with $60,000.
Well, let's get an update on our leaderboard here, Enigma, because we got some cash going up for the top Slayer of the day, and it's Zoltan at the top. We finally have somebody leading the pack. 39,000 damage on the day. 22 eliminations,
and with a fresh mind, and that includes when we load into map 4, which we are doing right now, ladies and gentlemen. We've already settled nearly half of the prize money, but still so much more to play for our all-stars.
Look at everybody. Look at this team, all rocking the same skin. That's the type of stuff we like to see. It shows real team cohesion,
chemistry,
mind games coming in. Yeah, the chemistry as a squad.
Let's get it.
I really like this. It's a power play.
All right. Well, Enoch, Zoltan,
We've got a good VOD.
and Public Sorrow considering making a power play. These 3, by the way, I would make a rough guess, are our combined team-wise kill leaders. All 3 of them inside the top 8. Zoltan leading that list by 5.
No, they're not line
putting out so much damage and going immediately for what could be a hot drop straight in for the bounty.
This one, you know.
And that player, whoever's been picked up on that bounty, I pray for you, because you don't want to be behind hunted down by a squad who's dishing out so much damage, and you find the purple ghost off the start.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels real good. Sure, maybe it's a sniper in hand as the weapon you pick on up, but even then, getting that ghost is super, super clutch. And it feels like off of this early game that we get a peek. This could be what's leading them to finding those eliminations. You see, it is literally the first bounty hunter contract that they can find that is possibly picked up that they go for. They snag it, it's already there. And look, they don't even need to play together. It definitely looks like you have two of the members are out pushing that bounty, and this player just going to feel okay to kind of get their loot up, maybe call in their loadout if they need it, and then maybe join up with the squad as well. So I like this sort of play that we are seeing, and I think it lends itself to maybe how they're getting to the top of the board.
We're going to get a replay here. We change on over, and, well, Mizkif did indeed get absolutely smoked off rips. Your prediction might come in here. We also see Karma get found by Public Sorrow. So, a lot of fights going on down around the skyscrapers, and I believe that is over by Little Kiev. I could be thinking Stoic City there. A couple of skyscrapers look the same, but I think that that's a hot drop over there by Kiev, and a lot of different squads finding their early demise.
Well, at least the net runner will get completed for this team, and somehow Iceman Isaac able to get away. You have the ghost pop. And this player, though, on the push, and look who it is, none other than Shroud. Finds the elimination. Iceman Isaac with an early exit here. You got 20 seconds left on the respawn. 80 making his way over. I don't know if he saw that player to his right, already kind of rotating on out. I don't think he did. They are playing around this respawn beacon, though. Was feeling pretty solid. On the other side, though, Team Tommy, yet again, finding themselves in some early trouble.
I'm pretty sure we tune in there just to see a slam fist absolutely concuss Nobsford. It just gets absolutely rocked in the dome by that thing. They are difficult to land sometimes, those slam fist abilities. It's considerably more difficult than the Ripper. That's why people tend to go with the Ripper. But when they do connect, they not only do a ton of damage, they also concuss your opposing number. So make it so that you're in quite a bit of trouble out there.
I'm definitely looking to make it happen. And, well, guess what? Off the grid, not a game you have to play solo. I cannot stress enough how fun it is being able to queue up with your friends into this game, play as a team, okay? So go ahead, invite your friends, drop together here on Teardrop Item. Try and make some of these plays like we are seeing some of our teams do here today. It's a fun time. Even if you're not the best, maybe Battle Royale player, hop on in. Get some of those hexes. Be able to extract them. Get your items up so that way you can feel a little bit better about playing on in. It's a fantastic game to play. Out now on PC, on over there on Epic, as well as Xbox and PlayStation. Go ahead, invite your friends. Play some off the grid, baby. I can't stress that enough. Play the game.
Does that mean you're finally going to play with me?
No, because you play at dumb hours. So wow, I got to find new off-the-grid friends.
All right, well, I'm not going to play with you either because we're staying with friends. And for that comment, you are absolutely not anymore. That was just rude. Replays of more players getting absolutely smoked over in OCO, by the way. Looks like this grid is going to pull relatively central to the map. Looks like it's going to start to collapse in around Stoic and Little Kiev, which means you are going to see a lot of building action. A lot of these skyscrapers start to come in. Maybe the cranes as well. Another replay. XQC using the thumpers.
He's one on me.
Also spins. Manages to get the knock there.
That's a good knock on the Nubsford. Back here, still just trying to get that fight. Oh, I like this too. Nobsford. Oh, wait, okay. Actually, will get taken out. I was say you're surviving by the skin of your teeth, and well, unfortunately for you, it's just not there. Some great shots coming in on the player above on the rock. You kind of have to just play this heady where you can. Are you able to land some of those headshots? It doesn't look like it. And you try and make an exit, and it looks like Zombs will be able to find Tommy.
That Proton just lighting up our kill feed so much, so effective. Out here on the map. Aiden instead running the Kestrel and Kite combo. Also a very valid option. I mean, Paralyzer, hook shot. Aiden, so damn good at this. Oh, and they're absolutely flying in here. If you are Public Sorrow, you get the Ripper onto Selly, you clean it on up. Holly's then dealing with damage out as well. Sorry, being dealt damage as well. Zoltan does a great job, and that is a huge wipe there. We're gonna get to watch it again.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I feel like I'm watching an anime right now. Oh my dear lord. Oh my, Oshindaru?
Yeah. I downed
Nani?
Many things to break down there as well. The fact that you end up with 2 Rippers because you've got that epic rarity on it. You've also then got the Phosphor Fury was stuck into someone's chest, so God bless them. That's an instant kill. We're going to see a replay elsewhere. Oh, this is when we were seeing Tommy try and escape from Zoms, and it did not work out at all. And we look in the kill feed very quickly. Zoms picking up more kills, finding madness elsewhere.
I have none right now. It's looted up there, so you might have to try and find loot somewhere else.
You can hear, looks like Tommy was able to get brought back into the game. So not a quick exit just yet for these players yet. We'll call it a loadout. Hopefully they can kind of reset here. It looks like maybe a little bit low on credits. They have to make it happen. But a team deciding to push XQC. Dizzy immediately dropped in. Well, XQC gets eliminated by Schmikey. So that team, it just feels we have a couple squads getting put into a blender right now, Enigma. Just not able to stay alive and are kind of getting farmed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's one of those moments where using the movement tech is far more important. You get stuck in that mantle animation, you're just a sitting duck. It's such a long animation that you're in. You end up just getting picked up by the player up there using that proton. XQC, unfortunately, falling there. He did manage to get back on in, was revived. We've had confirmation from production, so they will keep on going. But we have lost 3 squads already at this point, as we get a replay of Breadman raining hellfire with the proton from above.
Just Breadman doing Breadman things, and that is hitting at range with some sort of sniper rifle or marksman rifle. No real surprise here. Pretty standard stuff for the young lad, no matter what game he's playing. Back on board with Shroud. We saw Shroud get a very early elimination. Go to work on it.
Am I right
Felt
above them?
pretty good. It looks like they are playing a little bit more passive in this game. It definitely feels like, okay, as they're starting to maneuver around. Just trying to figure out what they want to do here on the other sides. Landmark had some fantastic moments in that last game, playing on top of the crane, trying to get some early eliminations, but unfortunately did get pushed out from the overload. As Sultan hits Vibin, I believe, shoots out the jetpack, so he just drops off the zip.
Yeah, by the way, it wasn't even just the jetpack either. Hits the jetpack and then a headshot as he's coming down. Zoltan, quite frankly, ridiculous. You hear the comms come in there from Vibin. These guys are insane. Yes, they're quite frankly inhuman when it comes to how they play on off the grid. Aiden here trying to utilize the jetpack. Just lifts himself up, gets a look on over this ridge. Is this opponent still up here? Looks like no, but you will have the height. And Paralyzer goes out, so it should be lighting up any players beneath you like a Christmas tree.
He's on the backside. He's flying away.
And you see him check on out, trying to float away. Kestrel in hand. Probably want a deeper scope for this. You probably want more magnification on it.
They're hitting the zip. They might send me, actually.
Oh, he's lost his arm.
Yeah.
Has he realized?
I don't know if he has, but I don't know if it matters. Yeah, the Kestrel, you're hitting Justin out of the air. Showing Shroud ain't the only one that can hit clips here in the All-Stars, baby. Oh my God. Aiden goes huge to find that pick. And immediately it's the aggressive. You see the Roadrunners, they get invested. You're going to use your own. Try and keep on up. Can you bring them on down? This might be the second time we've seen this happen to Shroud's team, where one of them gets knocked and then the rest of you just get dismantled. Aiden, kite in hand. Can you land the shots? It doesn't look like just yet. Smart ability to go ahead, reposition here, but it looks like Skullface not too far behind. They'll be able to take down Shroud and Tim just like that. Yeah, thanks for this replay, because oh my God.
Just I was sitting there worrying about magnification on the scope. Do you have it for the distance of the fight? Are you going to be okay losing your limb? Your left arm comes off. We're going to get a view of that Zoltan moment again. There's the jetpack shot. There's the headshot to remove your opposition from the fight. And another Ripper kill coming on through for Zoltan. Reign of Terror is a phrase that's used far too often, but by God, no one in this lobby wants to see that guy on the other side of your screen.
Is there something more satisfying than using Roadrunners to chase somebody and then being able to hit them with a Ripper? It's very tough. Maybe hitting shots like that when you're Pie Man Maybe that would also give you the same levels of dopamine. But oh my gosh, Off the Grid has just given us so many fantastic moments here today. I love that we have just competitors across the board who are pulling off some insane things, really using the entire sandbox to their utility. Really, really fun games. We still got 2 more games after this as well. Plenty of opportunity for these moments.
Well, by the way, just got a quick look at the map, and it looks like we are going to be pulling towards Salty. So right now, Aiden, Isaac, Skullface in the perfect place. Unfortunately, Aiden will get hit by a thumper. He's got to get out of there. We'll have backed off enough, but that will shift you away. We're going to get changed on over here. We're going to get to watch an up-close and personal fight, and Zoltan and Public Sorrow finding more kills. You thought you were safe. You had the high ground. It didn't matter. Anakin Skywalker won this time. You got absolutely smoked. Oh, please hit another one of those shots.
I love that so far. It's been like we watch a team play positioning or like get an elimination, and then it's always just a replay of Sultan getting another Elin. Like, we're just getting a highlight field. That guy can just go back, watch the VOD, highlight all of these replays, and there's your montage, because they are sitting on 8 right now. Absolute insanity. Ripper in hand, slam fist in the left. You got the Roadrunners down below. You have a Proton. You have a Kite. He is feeling good.
I feel for the production member that's watching that team. Oh, nice Phosphor Fury to the chest there. That will deal with Blake, who was trying to find a corner. Blake, George, Scump, haven't seen too much of them through this. And, well, when a Phosphor Fury hits you directly in the dome, that's probably not the best introduction to screen. But, yeah, I feel like right now, as teams start to rotate on over towards Salty, 11 teams up. Quite a bit of open ground over here. As any teams rotating in late are going to be in big trouble.
Can you plate wall down?
We can see XQC.
Oh, no.
I think he accidentally used the slugger on himself. Not exactly what you want to be doing just yet, but will get eliminated. It looks like this team has been able to stay alive for now. I know they would love to win a game. I feel like for some of these teams, like that's at least their main goal. It's like, okay, we got 3 maps left. Let's at least win one. Let's walk away $20,000 richer. That for sure would feel good. Well, look who's already kind of poisoned themselves towards end game as well. We saw Aiden hit some nasty headshots earlier, and Skullface and Nice Man Isaac, they're not too far behind as they are trying to poise for this end game. Maybe play some positioning. Try and make it a little bit deeper. Winning map number 1 and map number 2 and coming in second in map number 3. Imagine if they got in the money in every single map today. That would be wild.
I know who drinks are on when we next see Aiden at the Esports World Cup. Trip mine, by the way, being used to make sure no one can come up that zip next to him. We're going to get another replay. Don't tell me that it is Zoltan again. He's already on 8. Protons just ringing out there. And you will indeed see yet another kill for Zoltan come on through.
Oh my gosh, we're seeing some hardcore clips from the same people. Map number 4, people are coming alive, and it looks like a sniper on the top of this tower did knock Iceman Isaac. So maybe while you thought you were a-okay, it's just not yet. But Aiden maybe trying to answer back with some snipes of their own, give them the space they need. Isaac will get fully eliminated. Not too worried about it though. It's only going to cost 1,250 credits. Get him back on in. And yet again, hey, look at what it is. It's another Zoltan. Where you just get another Ripper elimination. Okay. If I had $1 for every one of those, I could at least get OTG Pro. You know?
We're going to get to tune in with Clayster, by the way, for one of the few times we got a chance to see him. Obviously, Call of Duty legend, recently retired now. Going to use that tactical brain of his to coach a new team. But it's also about whether or not he can help lead his team into some prize money here. Just 10 teams up, trying to hold the edge of the zone. Zone will be pulling quite considerable distance away from you. So if you patrol the end of this, you light up on someone's recon. Could be difficult. Get caught in the mantle animation. Can you buy and then can you get across this zone?
Definitely looked like you were able to. Cairo will be able to find one, and this is the team that is sitting up on top of that tower. That was what it looks like. Looks like they were holding up on there, but had to drop on down, looking to play a little bit of this low ground. Flying around, Zoltan Public Solo and Brother Enoch still here. 11 eliminations for Zoltan so far.
I need to reload. I need to reload.
I get the feeling he's going to hold on to kill leader after this, Dan. I don't know about you.
Hey, saw 30K on the board, said, I'm making that mine.
They probably have mines.
Looking like a fantastic job. The zone's starting to move. I love this. They decide to play on ground. They know that there's people above them. Just slowly but surely, they're clearing out this entire bottom of it. And look who's still hitting snipes on the other side above them. It's Aiden. And you see that little, he hits the snipe, looks over at his chat. Immediately, he's like, oh yeah, I do that. I hit that.
Yeah, I know you're about to react to that, guys. Oh, hits another, gets a crack. I think this might be Zoltan and Co rotating on out. Does indeed get plenty of damage, and that will burn through plates. But other than that, you're not seeing much. And Zoltan gets a kill in the feed, and you're just trying to find one of the kills here. That's Flesh. Can you finish it off? Can you do enough? This player's dipping, dodging, diving. If you can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a ball. And, well, he's continued to take damage, but for Aiden, it's not enough. Gets another crack in. 2 players floating on off. And you've only got 10 rounds left in your Kestrel, so you're going to have to start to get aggressive with this kite instead.
Oh my god, I love this too. You see this team drop down, and immediately Aiden is trying to make their way on over. Starting to fly in the air. Is taking a lot of damage, though.
Oh, no.
Will get taken out by none other, well, than the Grim Reaper himself. Zoltan finds Aiden. A little bit of a lackluster rotation there. It was looking very solid, but then the second he realized he couldn't get up on top of this oil rig, he said, I don't really know where to go. And just gets taken on out. Iceman Isaac, last one alive here. Can you manage to stay alive just for long enough? You go over Aiden's gear, you pick up some of the stuff. Can you make your way on out of it? Roadrunner still going crazy here. Now, it does look like there is a respawn just out of zone, so you might be able to be patient. Bring back in some of your teammates.
Well, P-Marked and Pieman are tucked into this corner. I know that Zoltan was here not long ago, so I wonder if they've either killed him or he's managed to reposition elsewhere. We go back to Isaac, who's still putting those Roadrunners to use. Ooh. I think he actually hits a trip mine that OP Marked had left behind. Yes, he does. That's going to be frustrating. Burn through 3 of your remaining 5 plates. If you can get yourself back inside the zone, you do. At this point, you're just hoping everyone else fights each other, but the discipline has been something that separates that squad from everyone else so far. Glaciers team, picked up by Taggleton.
Okay, this is a team that we've got to come online. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Cairo laying in wait from behind. You have the double paralyzer. You're going to go up into the sky. Can you manage to stay here? I don't know if you're going to be able to keep it on up, but the paralyzer will finally get invested. Can you hit any of these EMPs? It doesn't look like it. You still have the self-revive, though. It's starting to come on through. Skullface and Iceman Isaac, they come down in 5th, so no cash for them. Another buyback coming in from OP Marked onto Pieman. Still taking some of that damage. Can you get the self-revive off? You do. Okay. OP Mark, you're living for just another day. Hit the zip. Stay alive. Can you maybe get on top of this player? Bring them on down. There's two teams other there. You go down in 3rd. Who are the last 2 remaining? Cairo's still here. Can you hit the buy? You can. Oh, the double buy.
By the skin of your teeth. So that means Huskers and Inhuman will get back in. But do you stay up long enough? Yes, you do! You see off the map, this is the team that I predicted for map 1. They fell short in 2nd, but they do manage to finally see it out here in map 4. It's not going to be the most kills, to be honest, only 7 between them, but they won't care. $60,000.
Not a bad day of gaming, if you ask me. But map 4, after a little bit of a break, brought us all of the action, Enigma. Feels like everybody now realizing we only have a couple maps left. They're looking to get aggressive. They're looking to start actually hitting their shots. Felt like we saw a lot of fantastic snipes and a lot of eliminations from the man on your screen right now in Zoltan.
Yeah, this guy certainly knows what he's doing, right? Putting that Ripper to use at all times. And how many people did he pluck out the sky with with a Proton? Just one example right in front of you there. This snipe from Aiden. Another one that I could just watch all day. If you're looking to put a montage together, there's a clip for you right there. And so many great shots just ringing out from various players on this. Like, it's watching the marksman on the map figure out exactly how good some of these weapons are. And Zoltan leading the line surely when it comes to kills. We saw him on 11 last time. He had 5 more than everybody before we even went into that map. I'd hate to think what that gap is right now.
Yeah, I am really excited to see what this kill leaderboard looks like after that game. But I'm also curious to see who else was in there, because we saw, obviously, Cairo make that double buyback play. Who were some of the other players that were there? I believe we saw OP Marked go down in third. Yeah. I'll be curious to see who is on second, who is taking home that $20,000 for the game as well. But fantastic. This was such a smart play from we just wrapped up map number 4, where we saw some insane work out of some of our squads. It was off the back of a double buyback from Cairo to get Huskers and Human back on into the game that netted them the win. And well, in second place, it was of course Team Enoch. We were watching Zoltan go absolutely crazy that entire game, and well, you earned $20,000 for some of your efforts as well. And for the second time today is Team Breadman in third, so $20K for the day earned from those folks. Look at some of these stats, and
like as we bring it on up, Zoltan leading the way by a considerable distance.
10 eliminations over the teammate Public Sorrow, who is then admittedly a lot less, 4 eliminations over Vaxlon. Madness rounding out our top 4 with 21. Our top 3 come on home with some of that cash. Only one way for us to find out. Enigma, it's time for map number 4 of the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. Let's get it kicking. Only 2 maps left on the day, folks. I cannot wait to see what we get here.
You can hear the comms. Building excitement, trying to lift your squad, deliver the energy that is required to get through these final 2 games. It's a weird one, right? Again, there's usually in these Battle Royale tournaments, you get towards the end, you kind of know where people are going to sit. You know where the prize money is being sent. We've still got 240 grand to decide. 60 of that in kill incentives and 180 to be decided over the next 2 lobbies. On board with Zoltan, the arguable superstar of the show, the current kill leader, and immediately spots out a bounty contract. And why am I not surprised that this guy's going for a contract that means hunting someone down and slaughtering them?
This is what we saw in that last game as well, right? They found the bounty hunter contract that was as soon as you could grab right out of the plane. It looks like it's in a very similar area as well. And well, look who's already into the mix right off of it here, Enigma. The team that we highlighted, Madness, getting taken out by Brother Enoch right off the rip. This is what I love about this squad right now. Public Sorrow and Brother Enoch, they're playing as a duo away from Zoltan. They let Zoltan be able to go grab this bounty hunter contract, kind of loot on up, and they're just like, yeah, we'll just go ahead and fight people. Don't worry, we got it handled.
Well, someone else who has it handled. You're going to see damage stats at the bottom of the screen, guys, and Zoltan's put up 61,000 damage so far. Public Sorrow coming in behind at nearly 41,000, and then Selly in third with 29,000. And to be fair, Twitch chat at the start of the show was saying, you know, a lot of those names would come on up. There's Madness with 28k, Enoch 24k, and Vaxlon just after that. Seeing a lot of players that we've kind of highlighted through this afternoon. Also, I'm really impressed to see Iceman Isaac and Shroud in here, newer players to the title, and very much so putting up the damage figures as required for their team.
Really good stuff. Love seeing those damage numbers. Love seeing, you know, how active is everybody getting, especially when it comes to that. And well, if you too want to get active, maybe you're sitting here watching our event and you want to get a little competitive yourself, well, go ahead. Join the OTG Daily Clash for cash and fight for a $3,000 prize pool. Maybe it's not 600K, but every day you have your chance at winning $3,000. Absolutely insane. And guess what? You don't even need to be an OTG Pro member to participate. So go ahead, load up the game. If you want to get competitive with you and your friends, hop on into those, because they are going to be a fantastic way for you to get some experience and get some cash in your pocket, just like we're watching Tommy do to Coconut right now with a sniper in hand.
Absolutely deletes him. Coming back to those daily Clash for Cash tournaments, by the way, I see a lot of you in Twitch chat talking about how you'd be able to hang in this lobby, how you think that you'd be able to put it up. Well, quite a few of these top OTG players that are competing in this also take part in the Clash for Cash events in Human Cairo. Regular participants, Zoltan, also the kind of player that you're going to see taking part. So if you think you can actually take it to these level of players, you got your opportunity on a daily basis right there.
Hey, love to see you in the next All-Stars Invitational as well. Show out in those daily tournaments. Make a name for yourself. We'd love to get you invited. For right now, we already have some heavy hitters on your screen. coming on out. Winners of that last map, Team Huskers right now. Looks like a pretty slow start for them. So far, nobody fully eliminated just yet. But we like to see. I think people have realized that you only have 2 maps left to maybe get part of some of this $90,000 cash pool that we have per each map. So a little bit more of a laying in wait sort of style as well. Madness yet again taken out by Team Brother Enoch.
You guys good?
Yep.
Squeezing on up, finishing that off.
Nasty.
He had recon.
You hear the comms coming on through. Sorrow putting in work here.
What's up?
You are being reconned by a team just over the way. It might be Comrade & Co. I'm actually curious as well about if it was actually Iceman Isaac and so we saw them in that region not long ago. No comment. Here they're going to squeeze up on a player. You do manage to get a knock, but then that's another teammate squeezing up on you. That's actually going to be Cairo and Inhuman involved in the thick of it there. So a lot for Comrade & Co. to do. We're going to get a quick replay as well. It's a missed Ripper. Then it's a follow-up with a slam fist that sends an opponent absolutely flying. Zoltan putting all that movement tech to use.
And continuing so here live. We go from the replay right to live. Okay, this is the type of stuff we love to see. Public Sorrow also going to be able to find some of those demons as well. Also a Ripper and a Slam Fist for them as well. So it's a lot of just, it feels like this team is kind of, I think, focusing on a similar play style, right? I feel like for some of the other squads, we see them try and spread out some of their play style and ability, right? Maybe you can play a little bit of an anchor role. You can be sort of our entry fragger. You can fly on in. For those three, it seems like we are just going to be a death ball on the map. And good luck dealing with us because we're about to send you back to the lobby and take away all the chances you have to earn some of this cash.
Well, as Clayster finds out from the in-game announcer that he needs to avoid getting himself blown to fucking smithereens, he's also going looting up a whole bunch of cash here. I'm curious about how these guys are playing this out. I feel like Clay and Proofy coming into this, I hope that you've managed to at least spend some time warming up to the game before you're looking to load into a lobby with the likes of Zoltan and Human and Sorrow. And Sad Boy there trying to calm out, trying to just use that experience to tell the players exactly what they should be using and where they should be moving to.
Looks like right now you're kind of just moving around this outskirts if you are Clay. Trying to figure out where you want to hang out. Red, OP marked, Pie Man, no surprise to see them on this roof. This is kind of their specialty. They like finding this high ground. They like using whatever weapons they have to maybe hold it on down. The only problem right now for Bread is, well, there's really no long-range option in your kit. You got a shotgun and an SMG, okay? Like, you're able to, I don't know, you got to get on top of somebody just so far. And, well, over here in the city, it does look like Tommy, Fatal Wolf, and Knobsford, they're looking to maybe just get a little bit active. I like this idea of you hit these zips, you go up in the air, just kind of maybe get some recon, see if anybody's around you, and kind of just keep landing back on this roof so that way you can maybe get a sense of the lay of the land near you. Is anybody holding high ground near you? Do they have an angle on you if you want to just hang out even more on this roof or not? It looks like I see some pings on the building next to them. It's definitely good information that there's a squad that could fully descend on top of you.
Push this.
Okay. Should we take height though?
Stocking up there on the grid shield backpacks, just making sure that if you are going to get touched by the overloaded zone, you're not going to feel the effects anywhere near as much, at least last for longer.
No, we had height
On screen, Zoltan already has 2 kills, looking for more prey. Just utilizing the jetpack to kind of survey the area. Lands top crane, proton in hand. Can you spot this bounty target out? Well, your 2 teammates are all over this as you look to smother your opposition.
You're flying on in. You get the kite out. Can you fly on top of them is the question. You're right behind. Immediately on top. And it is just a full decimation on Selly. That is a huge elimination for your team to snag up here. Holly not too far behind to go ahead and get taken on out. You only need one more, and it seems like they have them in their sights. Flying on forward, you're seeing the Roadrunners get engaged. Can you be able to bring them on down? You would love to bring this team out of the lobby. This is a squad that's going to cause you some problems. Could stop you in your tracks. Getting elimination this early on opens up the map to you a lot.
I love how this team's playstyle as well. It's always to hit the rooftops, always to make sure that they're over and above, be able to gain the intel that's required for the fights. You move on over We spy a Vaxlon, the guy who's in third currently, and he will get the kill there. Madness. Probably wishing it was him who's picking that up as he chases down third place. We're going to get a replay. XQC over by Salty. A lot going on. Oh, hits the paralyzer. Oh, no, I thought he'd hit the paralyzer at close range there, but the phosphor, sorry. And unfortunately, just falls short. Beautiful bit of movement there out of Huskers to get himself inside the doorway and finish off the contract here.
I love this so much. You gotta play a little DDR if you want to do this terminal here. Have fun. The first time I ever did this, I was like, wait, what am I? I was like staring at it. I thought I just like would let it do its thing. Like, oh, I gotta go ahead and do this real fast, man. I gotta hack into the mainframe so I can get my credits. It looks like they're gonna be able to get their credits. Hopefully be able to keep that in your back pocket if you gotta get a late game res or so. Iceman, Isaac, Aiden, and Huskers are, sorry, Skullface rather, still sitting up here on this roof trying to catch maybe some people that are nearby. We saw Aiden with some fantastic shots in that last game. Got a Proton in hand, looking to make it happen again.
Blair up above will use the grappling hook to get away, but not enough. The hook shot is unfortunate for Callisto. It's the right idea, but it's just not going to launch you the distance you need. Vaxlon picks up yet another kill. Onto 2 for the map. And unlikely still holding on to third in the overall kill leaderboard, which, if he manages to maintain through to the very end, will net you a cool $10,000 all to yourself. More players above you. You are going to be squeezed in by the zone as it presses up behind you. You got Roadrunners, so you should be able to outrun it. However, only 30% of it left, so you're going to have to be careful. You don't want to get to the end of your run inside zone and have no Roadrunners remaining. If you run into an enemy team, you're in big trouble. And Arctic Karma finds Coconut B Gaming and removes his face.
Yeah, those are the type of plays we like seeing coming out of DB3 there. Nice little elimination. Still rotating on in, though. Look at this. Recon drones going on out. We'll let them know of a lot of these players nearby. And so far, for this Furious squad, they want to just hang out down below. Other side of the map, it's Aiden still getting into the mix. He's actually going to find no Cocoa Puffs. Lulu's got to be around here somewhere. This would be a great sort of squad to be able to clean on up. It looks like Aiden going ahead, looting on through, has the hook shot and the paralyzer. I think this is a great combo for an aggressive player like him. We're really seeing him be able to use it to move around, but as he says that, I think his jetpack is damaged and he loses a limb.
Yeah, something hard, more than likely a Proton shot, embeds itself into Aiden's side and will remove that paralyzer for now. Should be able to just plate back on up and get out and find it at some point, but a delay that you don't want to have if you're having to take a team fight next. On board with Shroud as he tries to track a player beneath. Good God. Hits the quick scope. Finishes him off with a vulture. Beautiful work from the aim god himself as he begins to get aggressive on a couple of these teams patrolling the edge of zone.
We saw some good damage come on one as they were trying to chase them, and he's just trying to basically clear out his back, making sure that nobody's going to be able to sneak in from behind. They need to rotate on into zone. Madness, Vaxlon, and Keon still back here. Trying to just hold it on through a couple of these fantastic replays. A couple of shots with the Proton from Breadman. You get a nice little pick there. That's the type of stuff we like seeing out of some of our teams. 17 teams still remaining, though, Enigma, as the zone starts getting a little bit smaller. Not too much time away before we start seeing some of these teams on top of each other at the end game.
Yeah, what I will say is I'm just a little bit worried for my prediction here, purely because when we come on over to Madness, we're going to see that he's lacking utilities, low-level cyber limbs. It's not necessarily cyber limbs he wants. He's still ground looting, and the Phosphor Fury hits directly, and that's what it'll do to you. Finishes him off. Does he get the self-res through in time before he is burnt alive, cooked to a crisp? The answer is yes, I think. We'll live to see another day, but Vaxlon manages to push on out and find Schmikey. We keep on board with Vax himself, just trying to provide cover to his teammates. Recon's going to highlight you for just a moment. Roadrunner's going to let your teammates on out. But again, you're not really holding the utility you want to have. If you're Vax right now, you got a Buzz Killer, and even that ain't great. And don't tell me Shroud's done it again.
Hit it! He hit it! He does! He does do it again! Oh my God! I just saw somebody in chat say, "Where's Shroud?" There's Shroud. Hello. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, feeling good about these snipes if you are Shroud. And the thing is having a great sniper like that on your team, it can be so fantastic just to find these players out of the sky and just open up a rotation if you want, right? That's maybe a whole other player that's not shooting at your back. It's not holding you up ahead of you. It's a great opportunity to kind of open up the rest of your team, be able to push on forward.
Oh, Isaac finds one at distance. That proton just ringing out. Can you pick this player out of the sky as well? We've seen him do it multiple times already. Oh, right now, that opposing player somehow managing to dodge everything, and I spoke too soon. Isaac with his 6th kill of the afternoon. We've spoken a lot about the discipline of this team. Oh, you get hit directly by the Phosphor Fury. He makes the right move and dips on out in order to ensure that his teammates aren't caught in the blast. But the fall damage nearly finishes him off. We'll get rezzed in. We change on over to XQC, who's got absolute hell going on in front of him, but finds a kill. His team have struggled so much through this, but as they build themselves more and more into this tournament, maybe they're starting to find their footing a little bit.
Height's not available.
Yeah,
Corner building, play corner building. I'm using
Here's on the comms come in from this squad. They came in second in that last game. They would love to be able to answer on back with a win here. They push on forward. They find somebody just trying to hang out on the inside. It's Lulu Lovey. Absolutely deleted. Go ahead, loot on through as they're playing this edge of zone right now. I like their loadout that they have here in Enigma. You got those road runners, and I think they have multiple road runners at that. Will allow them for all kinds of different interactions. As well, Shroud, I don't know what you're doing here. A little bit of a misplay. Hits the zip line. Oh, not a great way to have that map end after you hit a snipe like that.
Vaxlon keeping his team alive with a turn and burn. Yes, that opposing player was out in the overloaded zone and having to move on forward, but still does enough. Survives by the skin of his teeth to keep his team in this. 10 still up, so you still want to outlast 7 other squads. Change on over. Zoltan, of course, utilizing the movement tech. His entire team's on top of this. Kills 1. Holds 6 kills to his own name. Public Star has actually fallen, so Zoltan and Enoch to do it themselves, trying to highlight exactly where the buy will be. Change on over to Breadman, who traces a player, trying to dive in late, gets a kill. Isaac finds the high ground again. This team, we've spoken so often about their discipline and their playing for positioning. Look at the location that they have for this zone.
Yeah, I think this is a great way. Press the hole. You're hearing Aiden give those some superb comms. Oh no, Isaac needs to get their way back up here. Play with the team. You see, he goes in, wants to be able to fly on forward. Maybe find that elimination and realizes I'm out of positioning here. I do not need to stay around. But look at this, people flying in from the skies, dropping like flies on in here. Can you manage to find some of those eliminations? Isaac, you're showing up on somebody's recon drone, but for now, you're not super worried about it. You've gained a height that will be here for the next zone. It's this forward thinking that has led them to have so much success here today. Back-to-back wins, map 1, map 2, a 2nd place in map number 3, 5th in map number 4. They definitely would love to get back into the money here, continue showing they have the dominance in a lobby of this caliber.
Comms going absolutely crazy, trying to locate opposing players, trying to make sure that you're protected on all sides. That rooftop is a great vantage point. However, it also means that opposing players have a lot of different ways of being able to get up towards you. On board with the Furia squad, who have stayed alive by the skin of their teeth for so long. Keon doesn't have plates. Vax running low on utility. Could do with dropping a couple of those spare plates out for Keon. Not sure what the decision making is there. Trying to head on out towards the res. If you are Vax, manages to get the buy. Can you get yourself back in? Finds a grid shield backpack. Will give you a moment as long as you can get the movement correct.
There's 2 under me. I'm just trying to make sure they don't zip over here.
I like this. I like the communication between them. They're sitting here. Somebody's coming up to the top, but okay. All right. Well, Iceman Isaac lands a beautiful hit onto Frosty to just absolutely delete them off of the map. See you later. And for right now, if you are this team, you're feeling pretty good right now, Enigma. You don't really have to move that much. Zone's going to close in. And it's going to close in right on top of you. You're going to be on the roof. So I don't think you really need to move if you are them. You have the trip mines available. Just kind of put them down below. If anybody goes to head and move, you're going to bring them on out. Somebody tries to take the high ground and immediately sees 3 of them up here and says, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay.
The kill stats coming up at the bottom, but we'll come back to that later because right now, Isaac's dropping trip mines onto loadouts in order to ensure that anyone coming back in is going to get smoked. Also highlighting all of the self-reses around you because then when you fall to this, you're able to just self-get back into the fight. You're already inside top 3, so you're guaranteed $10,000, but can you just continue to outlast? Feels like deja vu with this team. They just continue to get there. Isaac gets a kill. I'm pretty sure that's off a trip mine. This is top 2. How can you find the other team? You don't even need to. You just outlast them yet again and pick up your 3rd win of the afternoon, Dandro. Isaac, Skullface, Aiden. What's that? $180,000 plus the second for earlier. They're already taking home $200K here.
On the map, we're gonna have to back up the truck to their house, that's for sure, to unload the cash that they need. But oh my gosh, I cannot believe that they were able to do that. It just became positioning at the end of the day. Map number 5, keeping the hype rolling as we saw everybody going for some of those eliminations. Some people realize they only have a couple maps left. They're getting more aggro. They're starting to push, and we saw some beautiful shots from so many of our players.
I mean, that one there from Shroud just showing the technical, mechanical skill that he possesses. Redman as well, by the way. Those aren't bad on a moving target, on a roaming target, left to right track so beautifully. Get to see this Phosphor Fury stick directly into Madness. Doesn't manage to pull off the self-revive just in time. I think if he reacts a fraction later, he doesn't actually get back up. And Shroud doing what Shroud does best, baby. He's been entertaining us for a decade plus with shots just like that.
It was insane. And well, this is a squad I hope was going to come on back and answer after their 2nd place in map number 4 for a win, but it looks like they stopped just shy of it. But either way, right at the end, it came all the way down to this team that's on your... Here we go, everybody. Map number 5 results. Let's talk about it. Team Iceman Isaac getting another $60,000. Over 200K earned here today. Absolute insanity. But it was Team Tommy in 2nd. Yet again, getting some cash in their pockets. You love to see it. $20,000 goes to them. And in 3rd, it's a team that we've been kind of waiting to come online. It's Tickleton, Shrimsy, and K-Mine, the PUBG squad here to play, finally getting some cash.
Which should propel him, Dandro, up the kill leaderboard. It's still led by Zoltan, but only just
by 4. Public Sorrow has closed the gap. Definitely felt like a lot better map for them. Vaxon on the outside looking in a little bit. Would have to have, quite frankly, an insane game to be able to join them. But $1,000 is on the table for your squad. And we have had some insane moments all day long from some of these top teams earning those eliminations. And it kind of started here with this Shroud clip.
It's still absolutely a wonderful thing to watch, but also this from Zoltan and Public Sorrow. It's the direct Phosphor. It's the double Ripper. It's the team completely obliterated. Aiden, though, not to be outdone by Shroud, hits his own beauty in midair with a limb lost. And plenty more coming out of Zoltan, the man who's leading the way in terms of kills. He's been putting on a show all day.
It's been Zoltan and a Ripper against the world, it feels like, okay? It has been absolutely wild to see him going out of it. And yet again, it's just been shots from Shroud, I think.
To set yourself up. If you're one of those teams, if you're maybe a Mizkif and you're falling out early, I'm telling you to go find a power position in the late zone, hunker down, and hope for the very best.
Well, we'll have to see if that is the case. Map number 6, folks, of the Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. Ready to go now. We've given away so much of our prize pool, and we have so much to give away as well. Over a third, by the way, of our total prize pool has gone so far to the team on your screen right now. Absolutely incredible. They are locked. They are ready to go. You see, they, of course, have this contract down there towards the Salt. Pinged. Looking to make it happen here yet again.
Okay.
If we want to grab one and just...
Okay. I'll let you guys land aggressive. We just got to keep in mind other teams have obviously figured out that that's a strat.
Yeah.
I love it.
We can do any contract for money.
Putting
I
out the
just want-
strat,
I just want
talking
money
about the
wherever
pros
you
and
go.
cons of that, playing devil's advocate. I'm a big fan of the comms here. A big part of why they've taken home $200,000 already for their afternoon's work. Not settled just yet, but we've got an early replay here as we move on over. Imperial Howl gets absolutely dunked on there in the stairwell.
One shot.
Straight up windmilled on, as we like to say in the industry. Okay, that is not looking good. Public Sorrow, though, well, guess what?
We're split.
They're moving on over. They're playing alongside brother Enoch and, well, Zoltan. Doing their pretty standard thing. You find this bounty hunter contract, you see him out on the edge, you know the calls are there, you're getting those shots out, the armor crack is there, player goes right up into the sky, feel like you're shooting for birds right now if you're Zoltan. But it looks like another player from behind, Cliff Booth, gets absolutely deleted. Public Sorrow finding one. Some quick movement from this team as they come on over. But Brother Enoch was taken on out. The respawn is here. Looks like a quick little loadout for Zoltan. Get the things you'd like to see and continue making your way on through the map as you, well, you find one more hanging on the inside. I don't think you expected this player to be here.
No, what I will say, that kill comes through from Sorrow and obviously closes the gap. And oh, you get shut down if you're Zoltan, and you're only leading by 2 kills at this point. We're going to get live updates from production because they're really damn good at what they do, and we're going to get to track who's actually going to take home this kill incentive. $30,000 for first. Zoltan's led so much of the way through, but 2 kills there basically being taken by Sorrow. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just contributing to your team's performance, but you wouldn't mind if it helps you net an extra 10K by the end of it.
Absolutely not. Back
Good
here on the
shots.
map. Well, you've made your way back on in here. Yeah, some fantastic shots coming on out. You got that Buzz Killer drone kind of just lurking around nearby. Something I thought I would see a little bit more of, honestly. I feel like this Buzz Killer drone was a little bit underappreciated. You know, it has a surprising amount of health to it, and while maybe it doesn't always deal the most damage that you would expect, just even using it as a little bit of info, right? Start shooting at somebody and you get that call out, it's going to feel very good. Albarelele getting a nice fantastic elimination there on the stairs. There's some beautiful shots coming on in. Back to the southern side of the map, though. Iceman Isaac, Skullface Aiden. Well, it's kind of business as usual for this trio.
Yeah, find Salty, do your net runners, get your cash together, get your loadouts. However, there's also going to be company in the region from Keon and Co. And this is a dangerous team. Found themselves a 3rd place earlier on. Feels like if we were to look at a couple of the teams that have been consistently inside that top 5 but haven't made much of the prize money, these are probably one of them. Vaxlon currently holding 3rd when it comes to highest kills. And it's basically a traded out situation here. You do fall if you're Madness, but I believe that you then get a knock that trades a couple of things. That was actually onto Aiden that you found the knock there.
Yeah, it was actually real Skullface from distance. He's able to find some great hits on there, and looks like a fight between these two teams. It definitely is one to happen. These are 2 fantastic squads that no matter who wins this, you're feeling so good about it. And this is a little bit of a travel back in time. You can see here, this is where Skull gets that snipe, trying to help out Aiden from above. Thankfully, we're still pretty early on in the game here, Enigma. Respawn timer is in effect. Aiden and Madness will be able to join back in with their teams, but this could cause sort of a blender situation where both players are kind of diving in on each other, and both of these teams can just kind of keep fighting each other over and over and over again. And eventually, well, someone's got to come out on top.
Split hard.
Yeah, you're very early.
Well,
He was in the
Zoltan.
numbers, bro. He's in
finds himself a couple of kills. Finds 2, which means that gap 4 kill leaders back up to 4. We feel a little bit more comfortable about that. I love this positioning from Skullface. Also just bobbing, ducking, weaving, ensuring that his head's never still for long. Doesn't leave himself very open. We switch on over. It's Zoltan pushing on up. Enoch actually finds it
That was
in the end.
crazy, bro.
Here's the weird question here, Enigma.
From
If
height,
you're
from height, from
Enoch, you got both of your teammates trying to compete for Kill Eliminator right now. Are you trying to help either of them get eliminations? Like, what are you trying to do right now?
I feel like you kind of got to just sit it out, right? You almost like the parent in the situation. You just got to let your 2 sons just battle, and you try and stay relatively neutral in the conflict that's ongoing in front of you. I'm sure that all 3 of them won't mind if each other take top spot or succeed or whatnot, but yeah, it was $10,000 difference. Oh, someone appeared, was using the ghost, gets rippered at close range. took off the plates, potentially a limb as well. Gonna get aggressive if you are Zoltan here.
He's invis on me.
You got
I
double
can't fucking find
kite,
him.
so close range fights is exactly what you want to be taking, but...
Oh, Holly. Holly.
Grabbing,
Oh, can we...
Can't fucking find him.
Are your headphones on?
Right here.
It comes up the zip, doesn't realize there's one just there as well. Okay, still moving their way on through. Public Sorrow gonna take down Holly, get a nice little different angle of that fight, but whew. Tough scenes, but at least it's a free elimination. And well, that's one for Public Sorrow. I believe that we're kind of looking at it. This is a 3-kill game on this kill leaderboard here, Enigma.
Yeah, it is, and right there, that was both Zoltan and Sorrow collapsing on the same player, so every kill
yeah, it's a purple
could
Leapers.
matter. Come on down to decide that extra 10k.
I'm gonna use this guy's gun. What's
And that purple kite will be very useful. Paralyzer.
Oh, okay. I'm taking this.
I can understand the case for a recon drone, but honestly, I think the Paralyzer provides that recon at ground level anyway with the pulse that it gives on out, plus has the potential advantage of stopping other opponents' cyber limbs. Shroud's going to hit the zip, get nice and high, and get on Overwatch with this Kestrel that he has. Ninja variant. Bright blue and ready to dish out some serious damage.
Oh, speak of the sniper at range, you can see putting it to work. Karma. Absolutely fantastic. Those are the type of things that we come to expect. Wait, Cairo looks like actually gets caught on out on the side. We'll get brought on down. Thankfully, yet again, respawn timer still there, but 40 seconds is a long time to stay out of the fight.
It is, and it's just going to be frustrating. You burn through time, you burn through money, you're trying to rotate in quietly. That's what I will say, that because of the fact that you don't have the money if you're Cairo, I'm pretty certain you won't get brought back in on this. I'm missing something entirely. You need 2.5k for the instant respawn, and you just about didn't, so that's unfortunate. Means you got to play for the redeployment terminal just as a 2.
We'll see if we have to go res him. Yeah, we can't. We have to go res him. Damn it, dude.
Well, chat, if you want an opportunity to drop on in with your loadout, you're going to need some of those guns credits to do so. Okay, the fastest way to do it, become an OTG Pro member. You're going to get an exclusive content pack, available every month. You can check out the Trump and Kamala ones in this month with the Save Democracy pack. That is an insane name.
Oh, yeah.
But you also earn guns 5 times faster. You get 5 extra loadout slots, and you can access the Battle Pass for even more exclusive rewards. It's a fantastic program. Make sure you're checking that out in game. Become an OTG Pro member today. It's a really fantastic thing. But back to the action. Speaking of the OTG skins, well, it's Karma yet again rocking that Trump skin as well, finding some nasty headshots.
Yeah, Beams Lulu, lovely. She won't want to watch that one back. We trade on over. Public Sorrow, finding no Cocoa Puffs.
Go back to school.
And you hear that call out, head on back to school. It's one of the landmarks that I love on this map. It's got kind of a combo of all sorts of things that you really want from your endgame position if you do end up around here. And we get an update from production. There is a 1 kill difference right now between Sorrow and Zoltan. Whoever comes out on top takes home 30 grand. Second place will take home 20. I'm pretty certain that it will be top 2 between these two. We look on over to Zoltan. He's missing a left arm. Won't care a bit. Just
has a ripper and a dream, baby.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, but so far, yeah, what we've seen today, that's all this guy needs to make something happen. And Tommy, Fatal Wolf, and Knobsfoot, though, looks like they're in a battle out here on the edge. Somebody's trying to make their way out of this fight. Roadrunner's going to make it a little bit tough, but their teammate not too far away either. There's the third player skirting on by as well. So for right now, they should be able to hopefully catch some of these players. Recon drone will go out, do a nice little sweep, hopefully give them any information that they do need. Brother Enoch did get taken up by Shrimsy, so yet again, it is just going to be a fight for the ages. Public Sorrow gets a double kill there, and I believe with that double has taken the kill leader spot and now has jumped from 20k earned to potentially earning 30k at the end of this map. But we still have so much through. It's gonna come down to the wire.
Yeah, again, I just kind of want to I want to see them pick up a victory. They've been so good through this tournament, but this aggression that they've been putting on, while absolutely beautiful for those of us on this side of the desk, for those of you in Twitch chat, for those of you tuning in directly on Public Sorrow's stream, it is a wonderful thing to see. However, they've just not brought home prize money from managing to pick up a win yet. They do have 20k for that second place earlier on, but I just want to see a victory for them. It's the least they deserve. Plenty of prize money between the three. But on with the team that have already taken home 200k, and well, Skullface, you're missing a left arm.
A lot of people missing limbs in this game. It feels like maybe some shots actually landing here today.
My thumper loadout.
I like hearing some of the comms that are coming through here. This is the one thing that, you know, you and I are very well versed in these three, okay? But I love hearing the comms, right? Normally, all three of these guys come from Warzone. This is not a team that normally plays together, chat, okay? So the fact that as three sort of players, maybe for the first time playing competitively, are able to play together, have this level of comms, and have this level of success in a lobby of this caliber is really, really impressive. All three are relying on their competitive backgrounds, so that way they can get to these end games and find these eliminations. You're hearing Iceman Isaac there calling the loadout, making sure that he can have the items that he really feels comfortable with in order to take some of those fights. On the other side of the map, though, it's Public Sorrow continuing to skate around the map and finding elimination after elimination.
You should go all
Zoltan here.
No.
Just continuing to try and sniff a rat. There is someone in the vicinity. Potentially two directly above you. Can you catch him? Well, you're going to take plenty of bullets in the back. And, well, I agree with, the disengagement there. Find a different angle to push that. You were bottlenecked. Squeezes on up. It was just,
I'm out on cooldown.
for a moment there, thought he had a double, but finds a third tucked in behind the pillar.
We took this from the
Gunfight going on here for longer than we usually see. Typically, Zoltan, Sorrow, Enoch, they've run over any team in their path, but giving this team a little bit of respect for a second. Backing on off.
I think they've realized that their problem has been the fact that, sure, you find all these eliminations, but you're never making it to endgame. You're never giving yourself the opportunity to be able to go ahead and, you know, close out a game with your talent. So I like that they're making some of those respects coming on through. They get the revive off, so not really anything crazy, but for now, you have to figure out how do you want to rotate on into zone. Roadrunners definitely going to be a clutch item to have in that case, but you also want to make sure that you do not let anyone just take space for free ahead of you. Some people, they fly on forward, they're going to jump down into the subway, but there's people on the inside. They watch Zoltan, Brother Enoch, and Public Sorrow fly on in. Public Sorrow has no HP, no plates, has to do their best to get out of dodge here, and they've been able to reset. You fly on forward. You gain some space here into the zone. You're now looking to turn the tides, find some eliminations in your path.
Where's that boss from?
This is part of the problem of like playing hunter-killer at all times. As you're rotating in through the back there, you get caught up in other people's fights. It's bullets in the back. It's your abilities being hacked. You're in so much trouble at all times.
Thumpers, watch out.
And Thumper's now raining down on someone. So you disengage. You then run into skunk paw abilities. So much going on here. 15 teams still up. Landmass shrinking as the zone encroaches. Someone's lost their legs. Enoch with a fall and is then picked off by Cliff Booth. So for now, the duo are just going to have to do it alone.
Well, Shroud, Justin, Tim, they're still alive.
I am not chill at the moment.
Okay, I love the comp. I am not chill. I am sitting out back here, and it's going to be Shroud yet again trying to hit some of these shots. But a Phosphor Fury enters on in and brings them down. Back on over, Public Sorrow and Zoltan in this race for kill leader. Brother Enoch has been eliminated. You do have this respawn beacon, but it's just on the edge of zone, and you can see some of those pings on the minimap. It is absolutely crowded. Almost a death sentence to try and make the run out to get the respawn on in. If you're Public Sorrow and Zoltan, it might just be better to play as a duo and try and get to this end game, get to top 3 if possible.
That's Baxon. That was the next closest. I'm up.
Public Sorrow leading by 3 in the fight for kill leader. This team into top 12 for this map. It's a tough one because you kind of just want them to find a power position and lay low, but with so much money on the line for their kill participation, you can understand why 2 of the players on this team just want to get involved in the thick of everything.
I just dropped 60 sniper.
Yeah, you do indeed have a lot of sniper ammo. Drops a bunch of it. Proton in
I have
hand.
to reload, I have to
Definitely
reload.
didn't need that much.
We're in here.
Where do you go from here? We're going to get a replay. We're going to get to see Vibin taking a fight and Will not taking it successfully, falling in 11.
Replating.
Actually going to be Public Sorrow and Zoltan on the other side of that fight. A fight that you never wanted to take if you were Vibin.
Well, it looks like they actually were able to get Enoch back on in. That is huge. Being able to play as a 3 now, you're going to feel so much more confident making some of these rotations with these Roadrunners. And look at this. They fly on forward. They find OP Mark trying to just lay in a corner. Will not let him try and stay there. Paralyzer from Zoltan does a great job, or from Public Sorrow rather, does a great job of highlighting exactly where OP Mark is. And then look at this Enigma, just immediately as a trio flying on forward.
Oh. The Phosphor Fury that he throws out here, I'm pretty sure you get like 3 people with it. Oh my god! The execution of your opponents, so clinical and ruthless. You've been so good through this entire tournament. Public Sorrow, though, lights an imposing squad on fire with an arm cannon from the gods.
Me as well.
Lulu Lovely, Noko, and Merc Frosty just deleted in a heartbeat from a single Phosphor Fury. Brother Enoch gets taken out yet again, and that's by Inhuman. So now you know that this is going to be one of these squads that is going to be very, very tough to bring on down. And Shroud, map number 6, unfortunately makes an exit. You get to the top 10, the top 50% of the lobby, but it's just not enough. Thanks for playing, Shroudy Rowdy, but back on board with the team that we're trying to keep our eyes on. Public Sorrow will go down. You have the self-revive, but Huskers is there to catch Zoltan out. Are we about to see our 2 players competing for the kill leader get taken out?
Hold on, let me heal a bit.
You get that, you get that, you get that.
Public Sorrow trying to time this movement out towards the buy. Gets there. Gets his team back in, but can you stay alive? You won't have much health once you get back inside this zone. There's an opposing team stuck directly in front of you. The zone basically doesn't exist anymore. Everyone's just going to scramble over the same area. And look at that kill feed just absolutely lights up as about 10 different teams squeeze into a zone that's the size of a 5-pence piece. Sorrow out of here. You go down in 7th. Sorrow with 17 to end things. You will take home $30,000 if you're Sorrow, sure, but again, falling short of the prize money for the maps.
We're going to wait and see. Look who's back into the top 2.
You are
There's
joking.
No way.
You are kidding me.
There is no way.
baby! Come the fuck on!
Yeah.
You're the best! Oh my god, no,
I cannot believe. Hey, this is the first time I was right the entire day, but we were so focused on this race for the kill leaderboard, we didn't get a chance to check on it. Who was left there at the end, and who is it? Map number 6, last left alive. It is Iceman Isaac for his team. They get another $60,000 for the squad. Chat, maps number 1 and 2, they kicked us off with the day, and well, they went in second place map number 3, 5th in map number 4, and they say, hey, we're gonna turn back up here. Map number 5, map number 6, earning another 60K here. That is absolutely wild.
So if they're splitting this money evenly, they're taking home nearly $87,000 each. Not bad for your afternoon here for a trio that just played so consistently around being disciplined, around the end game, around the positioning. Commiserations to Public Sorrow, of course, who picks up 17 kills. Although not too much, you're still taking home $30,000. But going back to Iceman Isaac and Co., 5 games out of 6 you place in the money. 4 times coming out. I struggle to write it down. We changed over to them, and it was just a case of, not again. How are we here?
Yeah. That was it. And when we kind of got into where that zone was going away, when there was no other playable space left, there were 7 teams still up. The past couple maps, it's been, okay, 3 or 4. All right, that makes sense, right? You have a couple people trying to vie for top positions. 7. And just in the blink of an eye, we go from 7 to Iceman Isaac being the last one up and taking the win. I'm curious to see who came in 2nd and 3rd, though, right? Because we still have some very sizable cash to give away for those people, 20K and 10K respectively. So definitely somebody could have walked away with some money. But let's take a look at some of the moments here from our game, because map number 6, well, even though it was our last one, is still delivered with plenty of action.
Shots coming out of Karma there, absolutely outrageous. And Public Sorrow showing how useful Phosphor Fury is, and he'll do that not just once, but multiple times through this lobby. It's a ripper again from Zoltan. If you're unsure about what the meta Cyberlimbs are, you're seeing them right there. Clayster's got his damage numbers on, and that's lighting his screen up like a rainbow in those moments. Manages to knock one, unfortunately not the second. But Aiden... oh, that's so unfortunate. Gets caught by the thumper in midair as he tries to escape. That is rough. Playing out in front of you here. XQC, that's even worse.
Oh, you can tell he's not happy about that one either. But man, it was just a battle all game long between this man on your screen and his teammate on who was coming out on top with, of course, that kill leaderboard. I feel like we're pretty confident who it was, and it was off the back of what you see right here with Public Sorrow getting a triple kill with the Phosphor Fury, which is absolutely insane. But man, down to the wire, the very last second, and you can just see how excited Iceman Isaac was to clutch up that game.
It comes out in first yet again. I feel like we've almost copied and pasted this. If you're the design team on the back, Team Clayster coming in second.
Right.
They will actually pick themselves up $20,000. We saw them slowly start to grow into it, a little bit more of them through the second half of the tournament after seeing very little of them initially. And then Team Huskers will pick up another $10,000, making it $90K for them on the day. Not a bad afternoon at all. We spoke about them as the team that we were expecting to pick up multiple maps back to back to back. However, Iceman Isaac decided that it was going to be their day in the end. Top 3 there in Game 6. And we get to take a quick look here over the damage, over the kills coming on through. Sad Boy with 6 leading the way with our top 3 teams and nearly 9,000 damage. Well and truly pushing his team over the line there for some prize money.
It was an insane day from everybody, but we still have some money to give away. We knew it came down to the wire. We knew it came down to that last final game. It was a kill race between 2 players. I believe we have our kill leaderboard ready. So let's see who's taking home that $30,000 for being the top slayer of the day. Who is it?
Public Sorrow coming in with 58 kills and pocketing $30,000 on the day. I feel for Zoltan led the way so much, nearly 100,000 damage individually. Those numbers are indeed correct. You don't need to blink or adjust your monitors. 52 kills though, falling 6 behind his teammate to take home second and $20,000. And in third, Vaxlin holds on, 31 kills, 30,000 damage. Congratulations to the 3 of you. You were our top slayers momentarily there at the end. But we're going to get to see it all over again in full.
Let's go! Are you kidding me? $87,000, baby! Come the fuck on!
I think you're the best! Oh my god, no, you guys are the duo. No, you guys are the Cheddar. You guys are the new Cheddar brothers. Oh my fucking god, boys.
The pure excitement into disbelief at what they were able to pull together. And I just love it. You just hear Aiden in the background being like, nah, you guys are crazy. Like, I had nothing to do with this. This was all you two. Even though Aiden was definitely a big driving force with some of those sniper shots we saw and just being the aggressor that was there. A fantastic reaction coming out of Iceman Isaac. That's the stuff we like to see. You know, Isaac recently, he's been able to take a step back from competitive, but we know just how competitive he can be. A great moment that we got to witness.
And a massive thank you to the community. We only get to check out what's going on in Twitch chat very briefly, but there's a lot of love for the whole production going on. The guys in the back did such a great job. We're blessed to get to do what we do, and tonight is another example of that. A wonderful show. Thank you very much for letting us be a part of it.
No, definitely feeling the love in chat and all around. So with that being said, though, thanks everybody for tuning in to Off the Grid All-Stars Invitational. It's been a fantastic day to be here alongside all of you. But with that being said, I'm Dandro. That's Enigma. Until the next time, have a great night.